standing in front of him. Now Janssen will represent the Islanders on the World All-Star team, so he'll go up against an All-Star teammate, Washington's Peter Bondra, tonight.
Yeah, nice for Kenny Janssen to get named to that. Of course, has had a few of the injuries this season, but I don't think that there's any question when you go up and down the Islanders lineup and you say who's been their most valuable player this year, who's been the most important player on this team. Granted, not enough wins, but if there's a player that has stuck out and played at a high level, generally game in and game out, it's been Kenny Janssen.
Well, at times this year, the Washington Capitals were on the verge of soliciting volunteers. I mean, that's how banged up they are. They got off to a brutal start, but now they're showing signs of turning things around with those 3 straight wins. I asked Coach Ron Wilson what has the Capitals back on track.
Number one, we've gotten a couple of our centers back from the injured list. Michael Pavanka, I think we're 5-2 with Pivo in the lineup, and Jan Bulis, our young center who's got all the speed in the world, has come in and scored a point a game since he's been back in our lineup. Having all our centers healthy, with the exception of Adam Oates now, really gives me some options. I was having to play a number of games with left wingers or right wingers trying to fill and do the job in the middle, and it really hurt our offense.
How far away is Oates?
Oates, he should be ready to play at the end of the week. I suggested maybe Wednesday, and he found out it was the Flyers. He said he'll wait till Friday.
Not a bad choice. But he's right. When you look at this team, it was slow earlier in the season. Now they're much quicker.
So the Washington Capitals, remember, they're the defending Eastern Conference champions, fighting for their playoff lives. Sergei Gonchar has played very well lately on defense. His Capitals face the Islanders starting in a moment.
New York Islanders hockey on Fox Sports New York is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by Discover Card, a cashback bonus with every single thing you buy. Discover the feeling. It pays.
The Get What You Whiz For clearance sale is on, with fantastic savings in every department. All TVs 27 inches and up are on sale. Get any Mitsubishi big screen TV with no interest, no payment until the year 2000. Very cool. Buy any DVD player and get 5 movies and 13 rentals free. Now, do we know how to hold a clearance sale or what? Get what you whiz for, only at the Whiz.
You make a lovely couple.
Your days of pushing me around are through. I got a better offer, and I'm grabbing it. They even offered me a bonus. Can you even say that? Bonus. Bonus. Knock, knock. Who's there? A bonus.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover Platinum.
Hello, bonus. Speaking.
Ford, built for the way you live.
Maggie's a born archaeologist. So when she was invited to see a recent discovery...
Really? You bet I can get there.
She couldn't wait to check it out in her new Ford Explorer. With its powerful V6 and control-track four-wheel drive, Maggie was able to get in and out of some of the toughest terrain ever explored.
I just love these out-of-the-way places.
Here's a real find. Buy any Ford Explorer with 1.9 financing or lease a Sport for just $2.99 a month. Ford Explorer, built Ford tough, built for the way you live.
Meet Wayne Best. He saw the kids in his community without direction and did something about it. He got them off the streets and put them to work, teaching important lessons in community service, responsibility, and helping others. So he can spend more time on foxsports.com, where he enters his zip code to get the latest on his favorite home teams. It's like Fox Sports Net online.
Howie Rose, Joe Micheletti, Mike Crispino at the MCI Center for the Islander debut of Felix Potvin.
Yeah, he gets a starting goal for the Islanders. Been a long time. He's anxious to be back in there. Meanwhile, Olaf Kolzig has really come on and played much better in the last month. He gets a start for the Capitals.
Capitals have won 3 in a row. The Islanders winless in their last 7. For the Islanders, Robert Reichel starts out between Sergei Nemchinov and Zygmunt Palffy. And on defense, it's David Harlock and Scott LaChance, while the Capitals have Michael Pavanka between Steve Konowalchuk and Peter Bondra. Ken Klee and Calle Johansson are the Washington defense. This is Pavanka sending one to the slot that Harlock flicks away, and out comes Palffy. Zigging into the Washington zone. Holds up, centers. It was tipped by Reichel. Nemchinov goes to the corner. Sergei Nemchinov leaves it for Reichel, then floats to the front of the net. Out comes Reichel for a shot that Kolzig gets a piece of. Now the chance out at the right point. And Reichel plays it around the boards. The Islanders getting some instant pressure here, Joe.
Yeah, good job on the forecheck. And you notice Washington, what they do defensively, they all come back to the net. All 5 players on the ice. So that leaves the Islanders' point men wide open. And if the Islanders can, if they're alert and move the puck well, they might get some opportunities from their defense.
Trevor Linden just shot one off the stick of Kolzig. What a rush Linden made in Montreal the other night that Jeff Hackett was able to stop. And basically, that's the play that won the game for Montreal. That and the pretty soft goal given up by Marcel Cousineau. Now it's Lapointe feeding the blue line to Janssen. And his shot sails wide. Over to the near boards, worked ahead by Nikolitin, number 13 for the Capitals. Andrei Nikolitin, with help, gets it into the Islanders' zone.
Now, Kenny Janssen was talking before the game, Howie, about getting more people in front of the net. He says, even when I shoot it, he said, no matter how hard I shoot it, I'm not going to beat the goaltender unless there's somebody there. Now, Al McInnes might be the only one in the league that can do that, and even that's difficult.
Nikolitin to the corner. Takes a big hit from Chara. Meantime, the puck wheeled around by Brian Bellows, number 23. Recently picked up his 1,000th National Hockey League point. A year ago at this time. Felix Potvin making his first save. And then Gonchar sails a backhander wide. A year ago at this time, Brian Bellows probably figured he wouldn't get another NHL point.
Yeah, played so well going down the stretch for this team when they needed leadership. They wanted him, and he played well in the playoffs. And meanwhile, Felix Potvin, the save he made was a difficult one because it went through a maze of players. There wasn't a great deal on the shot, but his concentration had to be at a high level, and it was, as he kicked out his right leg to make the save. And then Potvin ended up having a little trouble getting back on the ice. But here it is, just throwing the puck at the net. This is what Washington does. There's the save right there. Not much on the shot, but then gets up, makes the save. The backhander then is wide. And that's the thing at Washington. One of their real strengths is their ability to get the puck in deep and start cycling it, stay on the puck, and generate chances off that type of play.
Capitals have Jan Bulis, number 8 on between James Black and Joey Juneau. And keep an eye on Bulis because he has great wheels, and he's given this offense a big lift since coming back from his injury.
Well, what he's done because of that speed is that it opens up the game for other players to get opportunities to score. And Ron Wilson doesn't have to use wings.
Joey Juneau using his speed, but he's turned aside by Potvin.
He's got natural centers back in the lineup now, Howie, instead of using players that are, out of position. In particular, Joey Juneau, who was at center for a long time this year.
And we'll get Adam Oates back pretty soon. He can't duck out on the Philadelphia Flyers. It's not Schultz and Zaleski and those guys.
Adam Oates would not do that. He'll be back in line. In fact, he played for a long time with the bad groin. So as soon as he gets an opportunity to get back, he will.
Ed Donato sets up LaChance. Wrist shot blocked. Loose puck in the slot. And it's the guy who made the block, Mike Eagles, coming clear with it.
Howie, that's the play I was talking about. Getting the puck in deep and then having the defenseman get in a position. And that time LaChance was wide open. He just didn't get the shot off quickly enough. And you've got to get the puck and get it hard to the net right away without delaying. But those point men are open.
Joe Sacco cutting in. Denied by Kolzig. Steve Webb goes to the corner for the Islanders. He took a bump there from Eagles.
There you see Olaf Kolzig, the way he plays, top of the crease, good positioning, watching the puck, and he looks like he did a year ago.
Log day 157 on our way to Bud Bowl 99 with great prizes like all of this. So get a ticket online at budbowl.com or wherever you buy Bud, Bud Light, or Bud Ice.
All right, passengers, please prepare for arrival. Stow away all digital satellite dishes, turn off the EVs, disc players, stereo components, subwoofers, VCRs.
He did it.
St. Louis, we have a problem.
I see your oil burner broke down again. Lucky you. Yeah, lucky you. Because now you can get Brooklyn Union gas heat and enjoy a lifetime of gas heat dependability, gas heat comfort, cleanliness, and convenience. Go ahead. Call Brooklyn Union right now. I'll keep an eye on things.
Get lifetime energy for your home and business. Get Brooklyn Union gas heat.
When Olaf Kolzig is playing well, his heels of his skates are at the top of the crease, right on the line. And when he goes down, and there you see him right there. Look at the goal line right there, or the crease. And there's the shot. He's in perfect position, and he's such a big goaltender that he just takes up so much space, and that's something he's doing now. And watching the puck instead of anticipating a shot, he's putting himself in position to make the save, knowing where the shot's going. And that's a big reason why this team is starting to win games again.
Capitals have the Pavanka line on with Konowalchuk and Bondra. And the Islanders have their top line of Reichel, Palffy, and Nemchinov. Big hit by Konowalchuk on Kenny Janssen. But Nemchinov hit by Ricky right by the Islander bench. Still finds Palffy. Spun around, dumped by Bondra. There's going to be a penalty. And Peter Bondra will go for taking down Zygmunt Palffy. The Islanders will have the first power play of the night.
Zygmunt Palffy put himself in a position to head to the net, and Peter Bondra was in a bad position because he was back, but he was almost standing still. And the only thing he could do was go over, and Ziggy ended up helping the play. I mean, as soon as he felt the arm, he goes down. And right there. See that? I mean, both legs up in the air, legs bent. That's anybody who's going to dive out there, for you young kids, if you're going to take a dive, that was the perfect way to do it. When you feel, spin, try and do a 180 in the air, knees up, skates facing up.
You got no conscience, Micheletti.
That'll help.
You're preaching cheating to our children. Just, man, you get into Washington and it all breaks loose, doesn't it? Kenny Janssen at the blue line, so the Islanders go to work on a power play. Palffy freezes one, centers Reichel, saved by Kolzig. Rebound is loose. Reichel scores! I don't know if Reichel or Nemchinov got it, but Olaf Kolzig had no idea seemingly where it was. I don't know if they're going to review this or not, but the Islanders,
I think so.
The Islanders tentatively have a 1-0 lead.
Well, Robert Reichel has the look on his face that they are going to review this. Olaf Kolzig lost sight of the puck. What a move by Palffy to get the puck right here. Makes the shot. Now moves, and now they got players in front. Look at 4 of them down low. Reichel was there. Nemchinov was there. Now Nemchinov can't get out. You could see Nemchinov trying to get out of the crease, but that man right there was Johansson. He would not let him out of the crease. So they're disallowing that goal. See, in the crease is Nemchinov. And they just keep, now see, the puck leaves the crease. And at that point, you can see Nemchinov trying to get out, but he couldn't. Kolzig will end up making, I think, 2 saves here initially. And then he'll lose sight. 1, 2. Now he doesn't know where the puck is. See, he's looking to his left. And you had no question that Nemchinov was in the crease.
That didn't even go technically for review upstairs. Referee Stephen Walker went right over to the scorer's table and said, we're going to keep the power play going and take the goal away. Now the Capitals clear. Plenty of time left on the power play. Minute 26 remaining to the man advantage for the Islanders.
Now it's real difficult to tell whether Nemchinov was in the crease when Zygmunt Palffy took the initial shot.
Barry Richter fires one off the stick of Johansson. It was Johansson as well that was tied up with Nemchinov. You think Johansson might have been forcing Nemchinov into the crease and preventing him from getting out?
I'll tell you what, Johansson has been their best defenseman this year. And he's been around long enough. That's a smart play by Johansson. I mean, the guy's already there. There's a scramble. Instead of playing the puck, here it is again. I don't know if we can see if Nemchinov was in there before the initial shot. See, he's already in there. You know, I think that's a good call by the officials, because Nemchinov was already in there, and then there's, you know, then the defenseman is just doing his job basically. So I think it's a good call by the officials. Not one that Mike Milbury and the Islanders are going to like, but I think it's the right call.
At least it's not one of those cheesy in the crease calls, because the traffic definitely affected Olaf Kolzig's ability to see the puck.
If the first shot would have gone in, it would not have counted, because Nemchinov's left skate was already in the crease.
So we're still scoreless. 55 seconds remaining on the power play. LaChance hands off to Donato. You know about the struggles of the Islander power play. 5 out of their last 64. And that covers the last 15 games. LaChance, a drive that's tipped wide. Islanders 0 for their last 15 on the power play, covering the last 3 games.
Yeah, but at least what LaChance did there, he got the puck, he was decisive, he took the shot, tried to get it hard to the net, and the Islanders crashed the net. Again, Kolzig did not see the shot. It was deflected just wide on the far side. He didn't see it.
All right, Felix Potvin handling the puck now. Doesn't have the greatest reputation in the world in that department, but how would you rate him overall in terms of handling the puck.
Yeah, I think average for the most part. But again, the biggest reason for him being here is the concern of soft goals and the Islanders management feeling that they have a goaltender that, you know, some of them put in the top 5 in hockey, and others certainly in the top 10. And there are other people around the National Hockey League, coaches, general managers that have some of those same opinions. Not everybody thinks he's a top 10 goaltender, but there are plenty that do.
Well, clearly the soft goal has hurt the Islanders during the last month or so. I mean, Wade Flaherty allowed a couple of bad ones, and Marcel Cousineau certainly should have had the goal that wound up giving the Canadiens a win. The soft shot from the point by Stefan Quintal on Saturday night.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think that this team did not have confidence. I'm talking from a player standpoint in Tommy Salo. But there's also a difference of having someone in there where it is uplifting for your team. And Montreal has gotten that out of Jeff Hackett. And if Felix Potvin plays that way, it could have the same effect on this team.
Joey Juneau up on the left wing. A drop pass now to Gonchar. Got it from Trevor Halverson, number 18, and Gonchar's shot wound up in the crowd. Well, Felix Potvin undisputedly the #1 goaltender now, which really puts Tommy Salo in serious limbo. Wade Flaherty is backing up tonight. I don't know if Tommy Salo's here or not, although Mike Milbury said this morning he's welcome to his complimentary tickets if he wants them. But hey, Salo clearly wants out of here and wants it as soon as possible. Mike Milbury is trying to accommodate him. Felix Potvin knows this situation from the other side in Toronto. What does he think of Salo's situation?
I think you know, it's never been an easy situation, but you know, from day one Tommy's been pretty good. You know, he came to me and we've talked together, not really about the situation, but you know, I think we're both professional and we understand.
Well, maybe the other thing they talked about was the $21,000 a day that he was losing by not being on the payroll for any team. And that's what he was losing, $21,000 per day when he decided to sit out. It's a lot of money.
Chump change compared to what Pavel Bure's missing too, right? He's got an $8 million deal he's letting lapse. Still scoreless.
Do you have the body you've always desired? Well, to get it is easy, and right now is the time. Introducing Bally Sports Clubs, state-of-the-art fitness centers with locations throughout Manhattan. Get the body you've always wanted and change your life. It's easy to get started. Take advantage of our no-sweat pricing. Just make your first monthly payment at the time you join. You'll look great and you'll feel great. Change your life. Join Bally Sports Club today. Call 800-34-BALLY now.
Just a reminder that with options like traction control, anti-lock brakes, and all-wheel drive, Dodge Caravan is good on ice, and snow, and slush, and rain, and mud, and dirt, and now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9 financing on Caravan.
Now remember now, Kenny Janssen and Tommy Salo are pretty close friends. What does Kenny think of Salo's plight?
So I believe he's been not a happy man. He's not been a happy at all, man. I mean, we traded for a goal. He didn't play that game, and he went bench. He's not going to dress tonight again. So it's a tough time for him right
now. Halverson for Washington, number 18, snaps one off the side of the net. Johansson shoots one that winds up cross ice, where Potvin is called on to make a save on a Nikolitin shot. That one hit Zygmunt Palffy on the way through.
I think everyone lost sight of it.
Yeah, and
I did, and ended up on the other side, and that was a good save by Potvin, because I'm not sure he knew where it was, and he was able to stay with it and made a good save. That's a good scoring chance as Palffy heads back to the Islander bench, and Felix Potvin had to be alert. And the Islanders in this game thus far are doing a pretty good job of not giving Washington much as far as scoring chances. There it is. Hits Potvin. Where is it? There's the puck. Now Potvin picks it up. Palffy, he has to be alert to get out of the way of the next shot. Maybe he should have blocked that one as well.
Yeah, shield doesn't protect everything.
I think, when you're in a situation like this and you're 0-6-1 and things aren't going well, and you're losing close games, and you think you're playing well enough to win. Well, you're not. You're not playing well enough to win. And sometimes you have to dive in front of loose pucks and give a second and third effort in order to ensure that you try and get that win and get out of the slump. And it hasn't happened enough.
Pavanka to Konowalchuk, and Potvin makes the save. And out comes Linden for the Islanders with Lawrence. They stay on side. Janssen to the slot. Spun around by Konowalchuk. The play continues.
Again, one of the new line matchups. You've got Linden playing center in this game, and Smolinski playing center. So you've got your first two centers with more size. And they just feel by having Linden at center now, they give him more size. They give Lawrence more of an opportunity to play with a top-notch player. And then Lapointe over on the other side.
This is Lawrence, number 44. He didn't get to the red line, though, but the puck doesn't travel far enough to necessitate an icing call.
And pardon me, actually, it's Mike Watt that's going to be playing that left side. So they're going to give the youngster Mike Watt more of an opportunity as well.
Donato, Webb, and Sacco, the Islanders' fourth line here. As Mironov moves the puck ahead, and on comes Black. He can shoot it, and Potvin turns it aside.
They're happy with what Black has done, the way he has played. He played in Chicago last year, where Laura Henning was an assistant coach, and he told Ron Wilson at the start of the season, when they played early on, he said, you're going to like what Black can do for you. And Black is very comfortable playing on the third line.
He burned the Islanders with a goal at Nassau Coliseum.
He shoots the puck well. He's not a real physical or big player, but he's a smart player defensively. And Ron Wilson said he's been his most reliable forward on this team.
David Harlock for the Islanders chips it off the wall. This one may have enough giddy-up for an icing. Smolinski, though, gets there to keep the play onside. Gurkowski trying to center with Dale Hunter all over him. Now it's Watt to Brewer, and Brewer's shot skips to the near corner. 10:08 to go, first period with no score. The Islanders have had one called back for a man in the crease. Hunter behind the net looks to make a play. Brewer stayed with him, didn't get it up the wall though. And now Hunter, checked by Smolinski, who's made good plays at each end of the ice on this shift. Now a centering feed comes through the slot, kept in by Klee at the blue line. Richter hits Hunter, and Potvin holds on to the puck, although there are a couple of pokes taken at him that Islander players take exception to. Craig Berube is trying to pry that puck loose from Felix Potvin.
See, that's what Washington does very well. Getting the puck down deep, and then they get everybody moving. They're a good forechecking team, and when they get that speed back in the lineup, which they are slowly doing, they become that much more effective. There's Hunter, always plays it tough and hard. Brewer on him, does a good job there, and then but you see the second man and the third man. I mean, they come right in. Smolinski comes back and does a good job there to help out, and Berube back in there. Eagles right there, and Brewer again. You see how quick Washington is on the puck and how aggressive they are forechecking. That's how they generate a lot of their scoring chances. Good job by the Islanders. Pardon me, Howie. With all that forechecking going on, they kept the puck to the outside. No shot.
Alverson for Washington being pinned by Brewer. Ryan Bellows in there as well. Richter on him. It comes through in front to Nikolic. It bounced over his stick, though. Claude Lapointe trying to get it out, and now gets some help from Richter, but Gonchar holds it in. Gonchar floats one to the slot. Bellows stopped by Potvin. Ryan Bellows with a great chance. Now Nikolic in the corner. Nikolic trying to sneak away from Lapointe, who stays with him. Nikolic, though, on the puck. Going to be a penalty to Richter here. Ricci throws it in front. It sails wide. Holds it, gets to the bench. Capitals have an extra skater on with a delayed penalty in effect. Capitals keep the puck, but now it's poked away by Barry Richter, who doesn't have possession yet. And so Stephen Walkom says, keep playing, boys. The whistle blows only when the team that's going to be hit with a penalty has possession, not just temporarily touches the puck, as Richter did. Now Palffy has possession, or so it's ruled, and the whistle blows. So a Washington power play when we get back, and Richter's going to have to leave the bench and go to the box. Still scoreless, first period.
Hi, I'd I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And if you call now, you'll save 50% off the regular home delivery price. Then wake up to the things you care about most. What do you think about first thing Sunday morning?
First thing, relaxing with my coffee and the Sunday New York Times. It's what Sundays were made for.
First thing, I think about my family in America and in my homeland.
You get a world of ideas, insight, and discovery you won't find anywhere else, all at a 50% savings for 8 weeks.
I just love the arts, and nothing satisfies my passion like the Sunday Times.
Call now, 1-800-496-2453.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
First thing, my New York Times. Another day to learn something new.
The New York Times. Call today.
The Capitals end up with a power play. Barry Richter goes off. Watch right up here. There's Richter, stick between the legs. Now Halverson does a good job. He feels it, he just falls backwards, draws the penalty, and now the Capitals with their first power play of the game, which has been better in the last 20 games also. They're going at about a 20% clip in the last 20 games. One of the big reasons is Michael Pavanka down low, handling the puck, and he has also helped out Peter Bondra getting back in the lineup. Those two work very well together.
Pavanka missed plenty of time with a shoulder injury that required surgery. In fact, Pavanka missed the first 29 games. Bondra looking to find Pavanka in the corner, but the puck knocked back down the ice. The Islanders change up here.
I still think that this Washington team is a team that's going to make the playoffs. And they're going to keep getting more of their players back. Yogi Sveikovsky, another young player with good speed. Richard Zegnik. You know, these are players that are going to be back in the lineup soon, and this team is only going to get better if they can stay healthy. Big question mark.
As it's been for the last couple of years.
Isn't it something? It's really hard to believe.
Pavanka to Juneau. Joey Juneau to the blue line. Johansson, he scores! Might have been tipped by Bondra. A power play goal, 1-0, Washington.
No question that it was deflected. Joey Juneau, playing the left point on the power play, has also been instrumental. He set up Johansson, and Johansson's so good at taking the shot. Here's Johansson here. Bondra's on this side. Now Johansson just tries to get to the middle here for the shot. And he is so good at taking the one-time shot. Good puck movement. Now if we stop it there, there's the lane. See this lane right through there? They do it perfectly over to Juneau. And now here comes Johansson. There's the perfect. And the deflection, I'm sure it was Bondra in front. I thought at least it was Bondra in front that got a piece of it. Well, it might have been the Islander player as well, but it looked like somebody just got a piece of it as it got past Felix Potvin. 1-0 Washington.
Calle Johansson had 2 goals against the Islanders the last time these teams played. That was back on the 4th of December. Bondra had a shorthanded goal in that game for the Capitals. He blew it open in the 3rd period.
Potvin might have just gotten a piece of that as well. It looked like you could see, I wasn't sure which Islander player was, Howie, that skated directly in front of him just before the puck got there.
Well, no official word yet. Either way, though, it's 1-0 Washington. Mike Watt with Brewer heading down the middle. Takes the pass, backhand, and a save by Kolzig.
Well, Brewer did a great job knowing that he was being covered, and he went to the open area to receive the pass, and then had a very good scoring chance.
They have awarded the goal to Peter Bondra. Johansson and Juneau pick up the assists, and for Peter Bondra, his 14th goal of the year. 6:32 now remaining in the period, and there is one of the most prolific goal scorers in the National Hockey League.
Who's had some problems scoring. You know, he felt an awful lot of pressure when Oates was out of the lineup and Jan Bulis was out of the lineup, and all these players that they counted on for offense were out of the lineup, and Peter Bondra just started taking it on himself, putting a lot of pressure on himself. Here's Juneau, who has helped the power play immensely back on the point, and Bondra going in front, deflects it in past Potvin. But Bondra, and it even got worse when they were on the road, and the team would fall behind early, and he would feel even more pressure to have to score goals. And he got to a point where he was so tight, he wasn't scoring at all.
Robert Reichel Threw the pass up the middle to the breaking Palffy, who couldn't control it, but now it's deep again, and Reichel and Palffy go to work. Ziggy behind the net, feeds LaChance. Looking for a deflection, the shot missed. Chinov was in front of the net. But now it's Dale Hunter peeling it off the boards for Washington.
So you saw Scott LaChance there take the shot on goal. And again, the Islanders defensemen are open because of the way Washington plays defense in their own zone. And when you're a team that's struggling to score goals, don't look for the deflection. Take the shot, shoot it hard, try and put it through the goaltender with as much velocity on the shot as you can, and worry about rebounds and all that later. Now that's when you're struggling to score goals, don't worry about being cute. Put everything you can on the shot and try and put it through the goaltender. Shoot it right at his pads and try and put it through him. That's the way you break out of scoring slumps.
I totally agree with you. Even if it means situations where all you can do is just throw a soft one at the net. Look what happened to the Islanders on the winning goal in Montreal the other night.
You know, when you take velocity off a shot and shoot it 50%, maybe 75%, because you're looking for a deflection in front. When you're a defenseman on the other team in front and you're playing properly, and Kenny Johnson does such a marvelous job at this, of covering a man in front but having your stick on the ice and knowing and watching where the puck is, you allow the defenseman on the other team then to make a play on the puck with their stick. But when you shoot it as hard as you can, it makes it more difficult to make a defensive play on the puck.
5:12 to go in the opening period. 1-0 Washington. Islanders now will be forced to do something tonight, or try to anyway, that they have not done yet this year. Win a game after surrendering the first goal. Kenny Johnson was looking for a deflection there. None came, and so the puck's at the far side. Lawrence to Chara. And that one skips to the near corner. Halverson back to get it. That's Trevor Halverson, playing in the NHL for the first time this year. Originally drafted by the Capitals, 21st overall back in 1991, and they re-signed him as a free agent last summer.
Yeah, they just called him up. How he's played a couple of games now. In fact, his first NHL points were in New Jersey on Saturday night. So a youngster or a kid that was leading their minor league team in scoring, 30 points in 34 games before his recent call-up.
Too old to be a rookie, technically. He's 27 years old. If you are 26 or older, by, I think it's the middle of September, you do not qualify for the Calder Trophy.
Yeah, but you're still a kid.
You guys are in here again? I can't believe this. You're always in here nursing your injuries. I have never seen such a group of cream puffs in my life. This is football. I need guys that can play.
Man, I thought he'd never leave.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Hot dog, anyone?
We're looking at air travel with a new sense of possibility. Rising as imagination.
Mike Crispino back at the MCI Center, where Felix Potvin has looked good. He's looked decisive in the opening moments, but a power play goal by Washington, the difference. We hope to talk to Kelly Johansson, who was involved in it. Peter Bondra, one goal away from number 300, but only his third in the last 5 weeks. In fact, one of those 3 came against the Islanders last time these two teams met. Howie, back to you.
He'll get going because he always does. In fact, coming into this season, Peter Bondra had more goals than any other player in the NHL since the lockout-shortened season of 94-95. So he's good as gold.
Yeah, and they went on a long road trip at the end of December. And after Christmas, it continued. They played 8 games on the road. They only gave up 14 goals in those 8 games. And you would think, boy, they got. I'm sure they won some games. They were only 2-6 in those 8 games and only giving up 14 goals. And that's because Peter Bondra, as Mike was saying, hasn't been scoring much.
That trip started right after the Islanders were here. Their game against the Islanders was the last home game until just before New Year's.
Now Bondra is so good. He's such a strong skater, not a great passer. I mean, this guy is a pure goal scorer, and his skating, he looks for the seams. And there he is, and good job here by LaChance, trying to stay close to him. And right there, it does a good job. Because Bondar, you can see, he tried to move away from the net, move away from LaChance to give him enough time to get the shot. And LaChance did a good job with his right skate to block the shot.
Smolinski up to Watt. And that play offside. Remember when we were here last time, Ron Wilson had been trying to motivate the Capitals and they had some downtime. He wanted to get them away from everything that had been going wrong, so he took them bowling. I said to him before the game today, I said, "You going to take these guys bowling anytime soon?" He says, "Nah." He says, "I want Milbury." He says, "I hear bowling is Mike Milbury's game. I want him one-on-one." So now we've got to broker that arrangement.
He also last night played in a charity event, and he won the game for his team 9-8 in overtime as they went to the shootout. And he was able to score the winning goal in the shootout last night. So I said, "I guess you're in favor of teams playing the shootout and overtime." "Oh, I love it." He said, "I think it'd be great."
Especially if he can sign himself to a contract between the end of overtime and the shootout.
He said that's one thing that I could still do. They just let me do it. Have a shootout. Plenty of time, no one back checking, and no one hitting you.
By the way, I thought football was Mike Milbury's other game. Football at Colgate? I got to ask him about that now that we've got to put this little game together. Mano a mano, Milbury and Wilson on the lane.
And Mike reminds you, if he did play football, which our producer Kevin Meininger says he did, he reminds me of a defensive back, doesn't he? As a just a guy or a linebacker that plays on edge, always looking for an edge, talking and trying to get under somebody's skin, and that's the way it is. And Mike was saying this morning that he didn't blame Tommy Salo for saying the things in the newspapers that he did, reacting the way he did, because he didn't have much time to discuss things with him, and he talked to him this afternoon. But the other day he said, I probably would have been the same way, reacting like Tommy did, and just not much of a conversation as to why, and he was upset, and he said, I don't blame him for him reacting the way he did and feeling the way he did.
Well, Mike wouldn't know it firsthand. He was never traded. Bruin all his career before becoming a minor league coach in the Bruins organization, then the Bruins coach and assistant general manager. So he was a lifer with one team before coming to New York.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I mean, he's a stand-up guy. Now, Mike is a stand-up guy. You go back to the days when he played, and you talk about somebody that stood up when no one else did against Alan Eagleson, who was the head of the Players Association, and Mike Milbury for years was, and he didn't have much support from the players, because I was a player at that time, and there wasn't much support, but he was standing up and saying, this is wrong. What's happening here is not right. And he didn't have a lot of support. And even this morning, he was saying, listen, you go back and look at this Islander team from 1995 when I took over, and look at it on paper and compare it to what we have on paper today, and how can anyone honestly say we don't have a better team? But we're not winning, and he said, and a lot of that is my fault. He said, I'll take responsibility for it because I put it together. So I give him credit. He's got a lot of guts. He stands up and doesn't try and shy away from or hide from the results and from what's going on.
And it's all about results for an Islander franchise that certainly is in danger of missing the playoffs for a 5th consecutive year. This is the beginning of the second half of their season. So they've got a long way back this second half. And, I don't know whether or not, as has been suggested, there's going to come a point in the near future when a lot of faces that you're seeing on this bench now morph into different faces because, with the ownership thing in question, maybe there are some salary dumps along the way. Some guys making big tickets here might be appealing to teams with better shots at solidifying their playoff standing or moving up in a playoff hunt. And you just wonder if the Islanders continue to stumble the way they have, if a lot of people around here might be going elsewhere.
Well, but here's the thing that has to happen, Howard. The thing that has to happen is the realization that the season is half over, and there's time left. Does it look positive? Does it look encouraging that they're going to make the playoffs? No. Is it impossible? No, it's not.
A drive by Johansson and a save by Potvin.
Now, the worst thing to do is for everybody to start thinking about next year, right now. You can't do that.
Bellows centers, backhanded by Halverson, goes wide. Gorgeous setup, and Halverson had an opportunity to pick up his first National Hockey League goal. perhaps an icing, but Palffy's got a step. Somehow, though, he lost it to Clee, and there will be an icing call.
And Howie, I say that because, you know, crazy things happen in this game. And we saw Ottawa that wasn't very good earlier in the season. They went through, they were losing 3 in a row, winning a couple, losing some more. Here's Brian Bellows with the setup. And this is Johansson. A good save there by Potvin. And then he is in a good position again later on Halverson. As here's the forecheck again by Washington. They do a good job. Bellows another good play. And that's Halverson. And you can see Potvin in that style of his. He took everything away down low and forced Halverson to shoot wide.
Well, the pass was intended for Berube, except he didn't have his stick, which makes it a low percentage pass. And so Harlock sends Lawrence in.
So.
Yeah. It takes away from the chances of doing anything with it. Over Point wound up sitting on top of Mike Eagle.
Howie, just getting back to that point again, you know, I'm not here and you're not here to beat the drum about a team that's going to make the playoffs because of the trade of a goaltender everybody thinks is pretty good based on the situation they're in. But and getting back to Ottawa, you know, here's a team that suddenly is unbeaten in 8. And things can happen. And you never know about injuries in the game, and you never know when a team's going to get hot, and you never know about goaltending. So with 40 games remaining in the season, you don't throw in the towel. And if there are players that are going to do that, those are the ones that are going to be the first ones to be gone from here.
Michael Pavanka into the Islander zone. Cross ice. Potvin makes a save on Konowalchuk.
Potvin looks good, isn't he?
Very sharp. And there's going to be a penalty here to the Capitals as Smolinski was pulled down. And so the Islanders will try and get even on the power play as Peter Bondra heads to the box.
Yeah, Potvin looked sharp here in the first period for a goaltender who hasn't played in a month. He's made some good saves. The only goal that's beat him has been by the man we just saw in the penalty box, Peter Bondra, on the deflection. And now the Islanders with an opportunity to get something here before the end of the period. Bondra ends up getting the penalty. It'll be an interference call. And this is something that Washington hasn't been real strong at this year, and mostly because of injuries. They had only scored 16 first period goals coming into this game. They have one in this game, but it hasn't been a real strong period for them this year.
Arias Cherkovsky brings it into the Washington zone. Outs one right in front of Kolzig. Richter down low. Watt. And he couldn't beat Olaf Kolzig.
He waited. It was such a great setup from Kenny Johnson. What a pass. And by the time Watt decided, he decided to wait for Kolzig. And Kolzig did a great job getting over there, and he took everything away.
Well, the Islanders will have a minute 31 of power play time with which to start the second period. However, Peter Bondra, the guy who will serve the time, has the only goal. A tip-in past an otherwise outstanding Felix Potvin. Olaf Kolzig called on to make a save in the closing seconds to keep Washington in front 1-0 at the end of one period here at the MCI Center.
Well, Kolzig again looks like the goaltender that he did last year and through the playoffs, where he's in good position. He's taking everything away, forcing you to make a good shot. And you know, the other factor in this first period is the disallowed goal that the Islanders scored on their power play early in the period that was disallowed because Sergei Nemchinov was in the crease.
So the only entry in our first period New York City Marriott Hotel scoring summary, Bondra's 14th from Johansson. He took the shot from the point, and Juneau at 12:31. Washington out shooting the Islanders 9-6. One period in the books. 1-0 Washington. Mike Crispino will be along with our first intermission activities right after these messages.
New York Islanders hockey on Fox Sports New York is brought to you in part by MCS Cannon, keeping people in business in business.
We interrupt this program to bring you the following message. No one duplicates color better than we do. MCS Cannon.
You're not still wearing the same old clothes. Why watch the same old cable news? The new choice is MSNBC Primetime. Not just headlines. Get more coverage,
state of emergency,
insight, and more depth on the news with Brian Williams.
Let's switch to politics.
The best of NBC News at a time you can actually watch it.
We're coming on the air at this hour with stunning news.
When you want more than just the same old cable news, watch MSNBC Primetime when you really want to know.
Your days of pushing me around are through. I got a better offer, and I'm grabbing it. They even offered me a bonus. Can you even say that? Bonus. Bonus. Knock, knock. Who's there? A bonus.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover Platinum.
Hello, bonus. Speaking.
Hockey players are tough. To win, they know they've got to dig deep. But you've never seen a hockey battle like this before. This year, the hockey world is taking on the fight to find the cure for cancer. Because cancer touches your family and the NHL family.
Hi, I'm NHL referee Paul Stewart. I'm back on the ice now because I'm cancer-free. I live every day as if it were a gift. We're in the battle for our lives. Come on and join the fight. Be part of our team.
Long Island's hometown team is back. 99 season tickets for the New York Saints are on sale now. Saints fans, get ready for more scoring. Bring it on. More hitting. Bring it on. More action. More excitement than ever before. Get tickets to all 6 New York Saints home games at Nassau Coliseum at a great low price. Tickets start at just $72. Call 516-794-9303, extension 272 today. Saints season tickets are on sale now. Hometown team. Hometown pride.
Back at the MCI Center, Mike Crispino along with Kelly Johansson, one of 2 Capitals who played every game this year. How did you stay healthy when everyone else seems to be bugged by injuries all year long?
I don't know. Luck, I guess. Seems to be a lot of groin injuries and stuff going on here. But hey, I try not to talk about it too much. You know, bad things can happen. So knock on wood. I guess you got to do that.
All right, you don't want to jinx you at all. The team has been racked by injuries throughout the first half, though you're getting healthy, it seems, and you've played better of late. You know, what's the sense of confidence level for your team as you go into the second half of the season? Can you make a run at the playoffs, and does it have to happen soon?
Yes, on both questions there. We can definitely make a run at the playoffs, and it has to happen really soon. We're double figures in points out of the playoffs, and that's no good. But if we get it in order pretty quick now, we should be able to make it, I think.
Doesn't seem right. The Eastern Conference champions wouldn't be back to at least defend that. Let's take a look at the goal now. You get one on the power play. Felix Potvin's first game as an Islander, and you kind of had a part in it. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, Pivanka got it to me here. I mean to Juno, and Juno just passed it nice back to me at one time. Then I think Bondra tipped it out of the air and into the net. That's how you get your goal sometimes. You know, you got to get a guy in front of the net and some ugly tip-ins. You know?
Yeah, the key is getting a good shot on that, and you got that. All right. Thanks to Kelly Johansson for joining us. We'll return with more from the MCI Center on Fox Sports New York. 1-0 Capitals.
Dilbert for Office Depot.
Our newest fan policy is to have subordinates appraise their boss's job performance.
I give you a D-.
Did I mention retribution?
Careful, sir. You're hanging by a thread.
For A-plus technology at guaranteed low prices, come to Office Depot. Over 600 convenient locations for computers and everything that goes with them. Hardware, software, printers, and more. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
When you come to Foxwoods, you'll find Ken Davis to welcome you.
Nice to see you.
Arlene Bolton to check you in.
Enjoy your stay.
Mike Keogh to give you change.
Good luck.
Plus 1,400 hotel rooms, 24 restaurants, 2 golf courses, and 5 casinos that last year paid more winners than any other casino, including Chris Doucette, who came out for a day at the spa and played all night. Foxwoods. Experience the wonder of the Connecticut woods.
The Get What You Whiz For clearance sale is on, with fantastic savings in every department. All TVs 27 inches and up are on sale. Get any Mitsubishi big screen TV with no interest, no payment until the year 2000. Very cool. Buy any DVD player and get 5 movies and 13 rentals free. Now, do we know how to hold a clearance sale or what? Get what you whiz for, only at the Whiz.
You make a lovely couple.
Sunjet celebrates 6 years of serving New York with new aircraft, new destinations, and low $79 fares to Florida. Call 1-800-4SUNJET and fly new Boeing aircraft nonstop from Newark to Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, St. Pete, Orlando, and West Palm Beach. Also nonstop from JFK and Islip to Fort Lauderdale, all from only $79. And in March, new service from JFK and Islip to West Palm Beach from just $79 too. Sunjet, new aircraft, new destinations, and low $79 fares to Florida. Call 1-800-4SUNJET today.
Islander fans everywhere, including the MCI Center here in Washington, D.C., and it's the New York City Marriott Hotel's intermission report. Our first intermission, Capitals leading by a score of 1-0. The goal called back, of course, by Sergei Nemchinov as he was in the crease, and the Islanders kept off the boards in period number 1 of the Felix Potvin era. He played well, but the team trails 1-0. Big news in the nation's capital today did not have to do with Bill Clinton. It had to do with Howard Milstein, the Islander owner, part of a group to buy the Washington Redskins for $780 million. I asked him how this affects his Islander ownership.
Obviously, one of the requirements of NFL ownership is that I will have to divest my ownership of the Islanders, which so it makes it a little bit of a bittersweet moment. But I think Islander fans can be quite confident that we've put together a very stable team. I think we're doing the right things. We're making the right trades. We're doing everything we can to get a new arena, which is the only ultimate source of real stability for the franchise. And so, you know, we're doing our best, and I'll always be an Islander fan.
How long before you will be completely in charge of the Redskins and have to divest yourself from the Islanders?
Well, the next thing that happens is the NFL approval process, and we're starting to work through that now. And that could take anywhere between 30 and 90 days. So in a fairly short order, that would occur.
I guess most folks on the island are wondering, you know, how might this affect that deal for a new arena, which, of course, has been bandied around for the last several months.
Right. Well, you know, my partner, Stephen Gluckstern, is a great guy, and he's going to continue, and in all likelihood, he's going to buy my interest. And so I don't think it should affect it at all. This is what's good for the team. The team needs this. And that the only true stability for the team is going to come out of that new project. And I think that Tom Galata, the county executive, and the other people recognize this.
What kind of progress has been made on that deal? Are you getting closer to making that deal?
Yes, I think we're very close on that deal, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was good news on that front in the very near future.
So a landmark deal by Howard Milstein. Standing next to him right there, Dan Snyder, who is his partner in the deal. Forbes magazine said the Skins are worth $403 million. He went way over that and outbid John Kent Cooke. We'll return.
On January 11th, 1915, Colonels Jacob Rupert and Tillinghast Houston by the New York Yankees from original owners Frank Farrell and Big Bill Devery for $460,000.
Ford, built for the way you live.
Maggie's a born archaeologist, so when she was invited to see a recent discovery...
Really? You bet I can get there.
She couldn't wait to check it out in her new Ford Explorer. With its powerful V6 and control-track four-wheel drive, Maggie was able to get in and out of some of the toughest terrain ever explored.
I just love these out-of-the-way places.
Here's a real find. Buy any Ford Explorer with 1.9 financing or lease a Sport for just $299 a month. Ford Explorer, built Ford tough, built for the way you live.
Am I on? Geico Direct could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Result?
Smaller bill.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more. At Geico, we get the ball rolling on your claim quickly. Even in the middle of the night. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
My Infiniti i30 has 10 engines under the hood. And the sound system is bigger than the actual Earth.
When Infiniti owners exaggerate about their cars, it's only out of love. And right now, great deals at our half-yearly sales event have made them even easier to fall for. Hurry, event ends January 4th. Infiniti. Own one, and you'll understand.
Myrtle Beach is #1 for championship golf, and to prove it, Myrtle Beach Jet Express is giving away free golf and lowering fares. Call 1-800-FUN-TUCSON and fly nonstop from Newark to Myrtle Beach from only $59. And when you fly Myrtle Beach Jet Express, you get 2 rounds of free championship golf. Myrtle Beach, home to 100 championship courses, miles of beautiful beaches, and great family fun. Nonstop to Myrtle Beach from only $59. Call 1-800-FUN-TUCSON today.
Well, the highlights of the first period really boiled down to 2 simple facts. 1 goal the Islanders didn't get, and 1 that the Washington Capitals did. They're brought to you by Marriott.
Well, the Islanders were on the power play. They move the puck around. They'll end up with 4 players down deep. Palffy with the good move, faked the shot. Reichel trying to get it in. Now you see in front of the net there, or I should say almost in the net, that was Sergei Nemchinov. He was stuck in the crease, could not get out, and that goal was disallowed. And then on the power play for the Capitals, great puck movement here. Joey Juneau, the perfect pass. That allows Johansson to step into the shot. Peter Bondra, 12 in front of the net, cruising in front, deflects it in for a 1-0 Washington lead.
New York Islanders hockey on Fox Sports New York is brought to you in part by Discover Card, a cashback bonus award with every single thing you buy. Discover the feeling, it pays. And by The Wiz, your ticket to entertainment.
I'm going to win successfully. I just need to be Mike Tyson.
There's nobody that can beat me. The fight is on. January 16th, it's the battle you've been waiting for. Cablevision subscribers can watch Tyson fight his outer demons as he takes on Botha in the battle of the year. Absolutely free. Only on Cablevision with any Wiz purchase $50 or more. Only at The Wiz, your ticket to entertainment. Your days of pushing me around are through. I got a better offer and I'm grabbing it. They even offered me a bonus. Can you even say that? Bonus. Bonus. Knock, knock. Who's there? A bonus.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover Platinum.
Hello, bonus. Speaking.
Randy, I'm not getting any younger. This relationship really feels like it's going downhill. I can't see what's coming down the pipe. I want to take that big jump. Randy, what I'm trying to say is I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
So we can get married?
Married? No! We're going to Mountain Creek.
What?
Honey, I want to spend the rest of my life at Mountain Creek.
What?
Mountain Creek in Vernon, New Jersey.
I can't wait.
When it comes to renting a car, there's really only one place to go. National gets you in your car and on the road fast. So what are you waiting for? National Car Rental. Let's go.
Come along on an incredible journey to Anastasia on Ice. From the grand palaces of St. Petersburg to the elegance of Paris, the magic of this timeless story comes to life on ice. Discover that inside every girl, there lives a princess. Anastasia on Ice.
Coming to Nassau Coliseum January 13th through 17th. Buy your tickets today.
Joe Micheletti, Howie Rose, Mike Crispino back in Washington. The Islanders trailing 1-0 after 1. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Islanders and Fox Sports New York, solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Islanders and Fox Sports New York is prohibited.
Well, let's see. On the far left, Tommy Salo, you know his situation, but the two guys on the right, Kevin on the left and Kelly on the right, Miller, the Miller brothers. And you got to wonder about Kevin's future with the Islanders. A healthy scratch again tonight.
Yeah, well, he was put on waivers today by the New York Islanders, so he's not sure what his future is going to hold for him. And he told me before the game if he clears waivers, does not get picked up by anyone, and he ends up, they want him to go down in the minor leagues, he might not report.
Of course, Mike Huff is playing out his contract at Lowell in the American Hockey League. But right here, the Islanders a power play for the first minute 31 of the second period. Reichel behind the net to Palffy. Johansson got a piece of it, but Reichel has it back. Reichel now shoots one, knocked down in front, and then Palffy hit the side of the net with it.
Now, Sergei Nemchinov is just trying to get set up directly in front of Kolzig.
And that puck sails to Johansson, who's immediately wiped out by Nemchinov, but not before moving it around the boards. Black couldn't clear. Palffy couldn't get it deep, but the Islanders keep it in. Reichel, with a half-minute left to the power play, fires, he scores! Power play goal, and the Islanders have tied it at 1.
And Nemchinov in front of the net is what allowed that puck to get past Olaf Kolzig. Nemchinov fighting this entire power play to establish position in front of Kolzig so that he couldn't see the shot. And then Reichel just decided to put everything behind the shot and beats Kolzig off the post and in. The Islanders did a great job of keeping the puck in. And Reichel, they're taking the shot away. There's Juneau, and he just decides to take the shot. There you see Nemchinov right there. The perfect screen. The perfect screen. Head up all the way by Reichel, and he says, hey, we're not scoring. I'm taking the shot. Nemchinov is there to screen. It works.
Reichel only his second goal in the last 17 games. So he sorely needed that. And so did the Islanders. It gets them even 1-1. And the struggling power play has converted. First time in 4 games that's happened.
And remember, they had the goal disallowed in the first period, which would have been a power play goal because of Nemchinov in the crease. So they're doing a much better job at getting people in front of the net and trying to get the shots through.
Now Felix Potvin in his Islander debut wheels the puck to the far side. LeChance has it. Made a blind pass that Linden couldn't locate. So now it's Pavanka for Washington, putting it right through the goal crease, but onto the stick of Lapointe-Fournier.
Oh, the other thing that happens is that when teams are scouting other teams, I'm sure a lot of the coaching staffs, the opposition against the Islanders, say, don't worry about Robert Reichel shooting. He's always passing on the power play and will not shoot. And so I'm sure they're thinking, you saw Joey Juneau there. Reichel gets the puck, they just back off him, trying to take all the passing lanes away, and Reichel finally decides, hey, I better start shooting the puck. And he does, and it ends up in the net.
Speaking of scouts, Dave Semenko from Edmonton had been trailing the Islanders pretty regularly. He was in Montreal Saturday night. Of course, the Edmonton Oilers have been rumored to be one of the potential suitors for Tommy Salo. Semenko was in Chicago for the Colorado-Chicago game yesterday. He is not in the building tonight. So I don't know if that means anything has cooled off temporarily with Edmonton, or whether or not all the reports are in, and it's just a matter of the principals agreeing on the deal.
Well, the Islanders are interested in those offensive defensemen that Edmonton has, Johnny Ninnema being one of them.
Alishin puts one off of Chara, and Potvin wasn't able to control it. Mike Watt gets to it, though.
And the Edmonton Oilers, by the way, have had some real difficult times in goal. They allowed 6 goals again last night against Anaheim. They've been playing musical goaltenders.
Linked off in essence.
Yeah, it hasn't been pleasant. I mean, there's a team. Remember a month ago, everyone thought that, Edmonton might be the class in the West. And what are they now? I mean, there are numerous games under 500 now.
They're 3 under after the loss last night, right?
16, 19, and 5. And for a while there, they were 5 or 6 games over 500, I believe.
That's without Doug Waite.
This gives you an idea of how quickly things can change in this one. How about Dallas?
Shut out twice in a row. A shot by Richter is kicked out
to two teams you wouldn't expect that to happen to. Now, the Islanders get shut out by Tampa Bay and Chicago, and Dallas goes unbeaten in 15 games, and then face Vancouver and Calgary. Calgary first, and get shut out twice. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
There's been a change here on the scoring on the Washington goal. Ruby got a shot on that Potvin made a save on. They give it to Johansson now, taking it away from Bondra. That's the goal to put Washington in front. The Islanders have since come back to tie, but now the Capitals buzz as Juneau put it along the goal line for Hunter, who gets it back and now lifts it into the corner. Sacco has Juneau tied up. Berube in there as well, number 27 for Washington. Still, they work it in the corners.
In recent games, the coaching staff of the Capitals have asked their players to shoot more, shoot the puck more, and in particular in this game, because of Popman's absence,
Gonchar with a drive, he scores!
They've asked them again.
Felix Potvin sure had a good look at that one. Gonchar just beat him, and it's 2-1 Washington.
That one beat him through the legs. It looked like an Islander turnover in the neutral zone, and Washington was able to come the other way. See these defensemen here? They're both stopped, so now there's all this room up the middle of the ice. See, they're both going one way, and they have to back up. And then the shot. And that just beats Potvin cleanly through the legs. Gonchar is back playing. Boy, he get that shot off quickly. I mean, you see his takeaway from the puck. It was only a foot or two, and he let it go quickly. And I think surprised Potvin a little bit. Plus, he had something on the shot. But Gonchar is back playing the way he was last year in the playoffs as well. After being a holdout this season, missing training camp and some early games, he's back to playing the way he did a year ago also.
So the Capitals regain the lead. Islanders trying to come out, and now Nemchinov starts the rush. There's going to be a penalty here, though. Behind the play, Harlock was tangled up with James Black. And we'll see exactly what the call is, but David Harlock will head to the penalty box, and the Capitals, who have just taken the lead, will try to add to it as they go to the power play.
You know, we've been together for a while, and I've been thinking. I don't know, I'm missing something from our relationship. I think it's just best if we make a clean break.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover. Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER.
Check, please. Oh, you'll get this right.
The possibilities Dodge Caravan opens up. It's a cabin in the woods, complete with heated power recliners. It's your own private ski lodge, or your workshop for building one. It's your place in the sun, complete with guest room and breezeway. Dodge Caravan, the world's most popular home away from home. Now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9 financing on Caravan.
That is Congressman Bob Mrazek on the left of your screen, talking with soon-to-be former Islander co-owner Howard Milstein. That's assuming the National Football League, continuing in their due diligence, approve Howard and his brother Ed as the co-owners, along with Mr. Snyder of the Washington Redskins. Capitals go to the power play here with David Harlock in the penalty box. And the puck into the corner. James Black, number 28 for Washington, hit by Janssen, kept in by Mironov, number 15. His shot deflected, and that becomes a souvenir.
That's a nice job there, not letting Mironov take the shot. He's got a tremendous shot. They signed him as a free agent. Of course, he was obtained last year at the trade deadline by the Detroit Red Wings, and then didn't play much in the playoffs as he didn't fit into that system that Scotty Bowman was using in Detroit, struggled with it. And of course, Detroit was able to sail through the playoffs for the most part as it was. But Mironov signed as a free agent, signed a 4-year contract, had played for Ron Wilson in Anaheim. So Wilson knew him well, and he's got a tremendous shot. And the Islanders did a good job getting out there and deflecting the shot over the glass.
Zdeno Chara slams it down the ice. Capitals converting on their only power play chance. Again, that goal has been changed from Bondra to Johansson. So Harlock in the box for interference, and the Capitals on their second power play work it hard around. But it's Chara and Bulis in the corner. And now Chara able to get away from Jan Bulis, finds the opening, and the Capitals will have to retreat.
That's real nice work by Sergei Nemchinov on the boards. And he had to be strong. He had someone coming on him, and then a second man, and he just stayed strong with it until he got some help from Zdeno Chara.
Alfie and Watt now the penalty-killing forwards, with Richter and LaChance on defense for the Islanders. Bondra, Bellows, Bulis, Mironov, and Gonchar, the Washington power play. Scott LaChance intercepts the puck. 38 seconds to go to the man advantage for the Capitals. A feed to Bulis, and a kick save by Potvin. And the puck hammered out of the zone by Mike Watt. So now the Capitals will change up. They get Bondra, Juneau out to join the power play along with Konowalchuk. Pavanka, and Gonchar stays on the ice. And finally, Pavanka gains control and sends Bondra in. A drop pass to Juneau, trying to get away from Palffy. Joey Juneau moves to the corner, feeds to the blue line Johansson. Pavanka with a drive off the arm of Potvin. Harlock out of the box, so the Islanders have killed the time. Konowalchuk a shot, Potvin the save, then he was knocked down. But the puck comes onto the stick of Palffy and the Islanders to center.
That's a nice job by the Islanders coming back to help out. After Potvin made the save, Washington, who had good movement on the power play, they tried to get to the front of the net, and 2 Islander players came back to take the men out of the play, so there was no rebound shot.
Kenny Janssen now with a headman pass that's deflected. Tchaikovsky keeps chasing, but it's Kolzig wheeling it around the boards. Ryan Bellows, number 23, lifts it out of the zone with 12:18 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Washington. The teams have traded goals here in the second period. Johansson around and out of the zone, and this one will cost the Capitals an icing. Nato comes back to touch up, so we get the whistle. Reichel for the Islanders, Gonchar for the Capitals. Still 2-1.
Mark's a safety inspector who has a keen eye for workmanship.
These modifications look great.
It's no wonder he drives a Ford Taurus. With over 40 standard safety and security features, it's the only car in its class to earn a 5-star government front crash test rating. Plus, it's priced $1,000 less than last year. And with 1.9 financing or a $259 lease, Taurus is a great value.
This is where safety really comes home.
Ford Taurus, built to last. Built for the way you live.
Hauled down to the ice. That's Tripping.
New Jersey looks to shut down the Senators when they close out their home-and-home matchup. Thursday at 7:30 on Fox Sports New York.
Mike Milbury explaining again today the reason why Tommy Salo is not even dressing as a backup, and he just doesn't feel at this point with his team trying to get a win that having Tommy dress for a game, he just feels it would be a distraction. And as he said, things are tough enough.
Eric Brewer throws it at the net. It gets knocked down, and the Capitals have it back. On right wing, Bellows. Now for Nick Olishin, who snaps one. It's kicked out by Potvin. The thing about Tommy Salo, he's got to realize he's going to wind up going somewhere where he's wanted. Rakowski to Smolinski, a save by Kolzig. And the puck behind the net, lifted out of the zone. And the hand for Olaf Kolzig.
Oh, those were two very good saves. The Islanders had a 3-on-2 break and turned it into two good scoring chances. Two very good scoring chances. And Kolzig came up with the two saves. Now, Ron Wilson was saying, when I asked him about Kolzig, so what's been the difference? Why is he playing better? Why is his goals against average now coming down and his save percentage going up? He says he just looks bigger. He says that's the best way for me to explain it. He just looks bigger. And here's the chance again. 3-on-2, one save there, and then look at him get over with the left leg and his left arm and make the save on Tchaikovsky. Those were two excellent saves.
You know, it's funny. Kolzig said today, I feel bigger in the net. So I don't know if he's doing stretching exercises or taking some kind of Mega Flintstone vitamins or something, but if he feels bigger and looks bigger to his coach, then there must be something to it. He's using bigger blades, skate blades. Potvin holds on to the puck. All right, let's see what Fox Sports New York's Vice President of Trivia, Jay Altmaier, has conjured up as our Dodge Trivia quiz. All right, Pat LaFontaine scored in 11 straight games. That's the Islander record, ending on January 13th of 90. Capitals goaltender?
1990.
I have a guess that, you know, it's going to be in the ballpark. I don't know if that means
Bob Mason.
I was going to go with the Don Beaupre.
Don Beaupre is a good choice.
And there is Rick Tabaracci, who could be, he's a Cap who is in his second tour of duty here. So perhaps we weren't supposed to comment on what was supposed to be a subliminal message.
How long has Byron Defoe been in the league? There's a few that have been through here. He started his career here as well. Yeah. Drafted by the Capitals.
Byron Defoe, born in England, and guy tending net these days for the Capitals. Olaf Kolzig, born in South Africa. 10:46 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Washington. Craig Berube, number 27, out with Eagles and Hunter. And they score! Hunter from behind the net. It must have deflected off of Potvin, and it's 3-1 Washington. You don't have to be a mind reader to have an educated guess of what Tommy Salo must be thinking.
It looked like Hunter was just trying to get the puck in front of the net. I'm not sure if he even had time to do that. Again, a good job by Eagles and Hunter from behind the net. Oh, that deflected off the stick of Harlock. And just inside, off the right pad of Felix Potvin. So it goes off the stick of Harlock hits Potvin and goes in. And that's a soft one to make it 3-1.
Gonchar's shot, you know, he had a clear look at it. You could certainly say that that's a shot that might have been stopped, although it was a laser by Gonchar. But anyway, it's 3-1 Washington. Palffy behind the net, comes out, centers, but it's knocked away. And now Bulis starts ahead for Washington. Up to Juneau on right wing. Cross ice, blast for a drive, and Potvin kicks that one out. Now Juneau quickly recovers and centers, and it's pushed wide as Nemchinov did all he could with Jan Bulis, who was driving to the net and made the deflection. And Juneau got back in center to make a play preventing an Islander rush. And eventually the Capitals went offside.
Well, Mike Milbury said that he didn't have the luxury of giving Felix Potvin enough time to get in shape, play a little bit, you know, get his timing back. He said with, you know, the situation we're in, so we got to put him in there. We got to, you know, just put him in there and hope that he's sharp. And I thought he looked sharp in the first period. And I'm sure he's not in the best physical condition he can be in, and that right there, though, was more a mental error than anything, just not being up snug to the post.
The sum total of his hockey experiences between the 20th of November and the morning skate today, save for the couple of shots he saw in warm-up Saturday night in Montreal, was working out with a junior team. Obviously, he can't play for that junior club, so it's all about getting back into his game conditioning, getting his timing back. Right there, he was able to shut the post off on the shot from out of the corner, but the Capitals keep it in. Pavanka centers, but Watt had ridden his man, Peter Bondra, away. Now Juneau to Bondra, who sets up Gonchar. Pardon me, Mironov, number 15. Pavanka put it in front. Going to be a penalty here to the Islanders. Kolzig on his way to the Washington bench. Pavanka to Mironov, and Potvin made a glove save on a sizzler by Dmitry Mironov, but the Capitals, who have gone in front by 2, will look to add to that. A Washington power play is coming up. Stop the chance, headed off. Islanders down again.
And our Craftmatic Model 2 adjustable bed is so relaxing.
It may even temporarily provide relief from my low back pain, Harry. Yet it costs up to 56% less than a quality flatbed.
I adjust my head and feet and fall right to sleep.
Call toll-free to get free information by mail about the Craftmatic Model 2 adjustable bed. This wonderful bed adjusts to hundreds of relaxing positions, offers optional warm, soothing heat, and relaxing built-in massage, yet costs up to 56% less than these quality flatbeds. Up to 56% less. Don't pay more to remain flat. Call toll-free and get complete free facts by mail about the adjustable bed that costs up to 56% less.
Call to get Craftmatic's free catalog right away. There's absolutely no obligation.
Call toll-free 1-800-672-7373. That's 1-800-672-7373. Toll-free 1-800-672-7373.
Steve Konowalchuk has made a big difference in this team since being back in the lineup. Watch what he does here. You talk about setting a pick. He goes to the front of the net. Now watch, he'll take one man out right there, and then a second man out is Smolinski. And that allows Washington a little bit more time to make the play, and then in front of the net, it's Scott LaChance. And he gets the holding penalty, so Washington up by a couple, goes back on the power play.
Calle Johansson mishandles the puck, and here's Trevor Linden into the zone, shorthanded, sets up Lapointe, and then they collide. But Lapointe has it back, and now Claude Lapointe is going to concentrate on killing the clock. Kenny Janssen got it from Lapointe, fires it all the way down. Well, let's set up this Washington power play. Johansson has 1 point. Juneau's out there. He's got the puck now, along with Konowalchuk, Pavanka, and Bondra.
That was a reason why they put Juneau back on the point as well on this power play. You saw him just take off up the ice with the puck. He's got great speed, and a lot of times he'll just go and get it all the way down. That time he makes the pass. But just prior to that, Lapointe did a good job on Juneau, but they like when he uses his speed to lead the power play up the ice.
And at 9 remaining to that Washington power play, Bondra sets up Juneau. And Juneau again shanks the shot. And that allows for an Islander clear as Harlock throws it down the ice. Under a minute remaining to the power play now. Islanders have Harlock on defense with Richter. Lapointe and Linden are the forwards. Falling down at the blue line was Juneau, and the Capitals have to retreat once again.
Now, when Washington is able to get control of the puck in the offensive zone, and they move the puck to the middle of the ice, that man in the middle is taking the shot, and they're just heading for the net.
A tip in front attempted by Mironov, who had gone to the net, but it went through. Potvin made the save, and the Islanders clear. 20 seconds remaining to the Washington power play. Out comes Gonchar. Up the left wing, brought in by James Black, number 28. Black has it back. Now behind the net, Boulis feeds Gonchar at the point. Boulis is at the half boards. And Gonchar did everything he could to keep the Islanders from breaking ahead with it. And now LaChance comes out of the box. Well, the Islanders kill the time. 6:52 to go in the period. And here comes LaChance for a shot that Kolzig sees all the way and holds on to. All right, now let's see whether or not that shot we showed you of Rick Tabaracci on the Washington bench was perhaps a suggestion that it was Tabaracci who broke the scoring streak of Pat LaFontaine.
Our guys are pretty sneaky.
Yeah.
Oh,
you were right
I was
there,
right.
brother. All right.
How's that for confidence?
They are sneaky. You can't trust them either way.
Bob Mason. Last year, I ran into Bob Mason when we were out in Colorado doing a game there, and he was, at the time, he was an assistant coach working with the goaltenders at the University of Minnesota. I'm not sure if he's there this year or not, but he's from the state of Minnesota, from the Minneapolis area. And he went back there to work with the college kids.
How tough a job do you think Bob Mason had in 1984? He was the goaltender for Team USA in the Olympics, and all he had to do was follow up the act of Jim Craig and the team that was coached by your former coach at the University of Minnesota, Herb Brooks, which won the gold medal for the United States 4 years prior to that.
How difficult? How impossible?
Rivero was the coach of that '84 team, which lost in Sarajevo. And now the Capitals bring it back in. Johansson a drive, kick save, Potvin, and the rebound is sent through the goal mouth.
I don't have anything against the coaches that followed Herb Brooks, but they should have given Herb Brooks the opportunity to do it again. They should have given him 3 years. They offered him a 1-year deal. They should have given him enough time to just take that program and run with it. And they didn't want to do that. Herb Brooks went in a different direction, as did the Amateur Hockey Association.
Joe Ricci, a former Islander. You got any favorite Herb Brooks stories? I mean, there must be so many.
Oh boy,
I don't know how many of them might come to mind instantly, but was he the motivator? I mean, Ron Wilson's known as a motivator.
Yeah.
Well, now, how would you compare, however clever you might think Wilson is, with however clever you might have thought Herb Brooks was?
Well, Herb Brooks was a good motivator, but different personalities, whereas Ron Wilson likes to add a lot of humor to his stories and to his motivating. Herbie only thought he was funny. And there's a difference, isn't there? See, I can say that now.
Especially if Herbie hears
I can
this.
say that now. Herbie's one of my favorite people, by the way. But he did think he was funnier than he really was.
I'll tell you.
And I can get a lot of votes on that.
John Davidson, of course, the color analyst, our buddy with the New York Rangers, played under Herb Brooks when Herb came to the Rangers. And the summer that Herb was named the Rangers coach, he met with J.D. I remember John saying, I don't know what kind of coach he's going to be, but he's one heck of a salesman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They wanted him, in fact, after winning the gold medal, they wanted the state of Minnesota. There was a group of people, influential people, that wanted Herbie to run for governor in Minnesota, and he elected at that time not to.
Do you really want to go there now? He was underqualified in the long run.
Yeah.
Herbie never got into the ring.
Yeah.
A drive by Mironov hits the side of the net.
Maybe he did.
You wish you had pictures of that. Smolinski tying up Pavanka in the corner. Capitals still with it. Back at the blue line. Mironov a drive. It's tipped, and Potvin gathers it in.
Lapointe is arguing that there should have been a penalty called. I believe that Lapointe got clipped with the stick, and I think it was Connor Walchuk. As they got together, Connor Walchuk is a tough, gritty player. He's like Lapointe, only bigger, and he's always around the net. And here they are fighting here. And see, as he went down, I think he got Lapointe. Let's see when he gets back up. Oh, he gets him right there. After he got back up, he got him with the stick up in the in the mouth area. And you know Claude Lapointe doesn't take dives. He is one guy that Ziggy video that we were talking about in the first period that would not apply. That would not apply.
By the way, when all of the judges checked in, Ziggy received a 9.2.
Yeah, and a power play.
And almost a goal. Mironov fires wide, not for Ziggy necessarily, but for the Islanders. However, that was waved off with Nemchinov in the crease. The Capitals scored first. The Islanders answered that back. But the Capitals have the last two, the most recent one by Eagles from Hunter and Berube at 9:25, giving Washington the 3-1 lead. That's Bondra buzzing. Peter Bondra. Cross ice, backhand shot by Pavanka, sailed wide as well. And now Donato fails to clear.
You see, that's what Pavanka does well. Down low on the goal line, handling the puck and taking it strong to the net. He just waited for Bondra to put himself in the open, and then Pavanka followed up and got the chance.
Chara on the rush, moving in, pokes one, save made, rebound, Sacco, and the net's off.
That should be a penalty. That should be a penalty right there on Witt, the defenseman. He intentionally knocked the net off the moorings.
And it looks like that's going to be the call. Islander power play next.
I think we both know why we're here. There comes a time in every career when you just gotta hang them up. You're not pulling your weight anymore. Look at you. I mean, look at you. I gotta cut you.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover. Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER.
Get out of here.
A typical car insurance agent is on the job during regular business hours. On the other hand, Geico insurance professionals are on the job 24 hours a day. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Paying too much for car insurance isn't any smarter. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Big Zdeno Chara. Oh, he has almost a breakaway. Found himself in the open and got a little bit of pressure as he tried to cut into the net, but he did a very good job from outside the blue line. And Brendan Witt, 19 in the white, knocked the net off the moorings. Delay of game penalty.
Well, the Islanders have a power play goal in this game, and they need something here to inch closer. They're trailing by 2, 4:24 to go. In the second period, it's Reichel, Palffy, and Nemchinov up front with Janssen and Richter on the points. And this is Richter throwing it hard around. Ricky and Johansson in defense with Eagles and Nikolicia, the penalty-killing forwards for Washington. Richter plays it down the boards. Ricky gets to it, fails to clear though. Richter works it towards the corner. Now it's Reichel getting to it. Around to the point, Richter. And now off the boards, Palffy. Sigmund Palffy and Reichel on the crisscross. And now it's Reichel firing, and that one sailed wide. Same play, at least the same area from which Reichel shot to beat Olaf Kolzig for the Islander power play goal earlier.
Yeah, he had his head up, and Nemchinov did the same thing. Went right to the front of the net trying to screen Kolzig. There he goes again.
Richter couldn't hold the hard pass at his skates, and the Islanders will have to regroup with 48 seconds of power play time to go.
Washington did a little bit better job, though, this time, putting pressure on the puck. They didn't want the Islanders setting up.
Tchaikovsky fails to handle it, and Gonchar gets it out of there. Felix Potvin plays it to the corner. Tchaikovsky, Watt, and Smolinski up front. LeChance and Donato have the point. Tchaikovsky brings it in. Now Tchaikovsky pulls up. 18 seconds left to the power play. Watt behind the Washington goal. Looks for a play. Smolinski's in front. And into the corner, Tchaikovsky. And LeChance play catch. And now Donato gets into it for a wrist shot. Save Kolzig. And the rebound played to the near boards. Out of the box comes Witt. Capitals have killed the time. Smolinski still with a puck though. Now to Watt. Centers Tchaikovsky. It's blocked by Klee. Ken Klee, number 2, making the block for Washington. But Smolinski has it back. Ryan Smolinski ridden by Gonchar behind the net. Tchaikovsky jumps in. Witt's on him. The puck is poked towards the near boards. LaChance with a pinch keeps it in the zone. Cherkovsky failed to wheel it to the net, and it caroms off of Flea into neutral territory.
And they've got Washington tired. Washington has the far change this time, and they're having trouble getting off the ice. Gonchar has to stay on the ice, and the Islanders trying to keep the puck in deep so they can keep the forecheck going.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the period. Gonchar in the Washington zone.
He's having problems. I mean, he's tired. He's been out there a long time. He wants to get off the ice if he can. But the Islanders, they're not letting Washington get the puck past the red line.
Mark Lawrence just made a good play along the boards to do just that. But now it's Bondra, as dangerous as they come, shooting, and it slithers past Potvin, sent back in front, and Lapointe carries out. Up the left wing, Lawrence. Mark Lawrence starts his drive and is hit by Mironov. However, the play is ruled offside.
Well, the Islanders were putting so much pressure on Washington, trying to prevent them from making a player change and keeping the puck in deep. And finally, Washington, they just threw the puck to the middle, from the boards to the middle of the ice. There was a deflection, and then Bondra, who had just come on the ice, ended up going in all alone. Here it is, gets a shot off quickly. Popman makes the save, and the puck just rolls past the post on the other side. Bondra got his own rebound and tried to put it in. There's the quick shot again, and then he just knocks it off the side of the net before the Islanders were able to clear. It turned out to be a two-line pass, is why the whistle blew, and the face-off deep in the Islanders' zone. That was a good shift by the Islanders. Very good shift of forechecking and creating scoring chances.
Before the season started, Bondra was at the top of that list. Now John LeClair has moved in front of him. Mironov along the blue line and came over the line, so Enrique sends it back in. The play offside. 1:23 remaining in the second period, after which we'll show you the Marriott intermission report. Mike Crispino will chat with Islander defenseman Barry Richter. Also look at the out-of-town scores. Joe and I will have second period highlights. Technically, this is a 5-game road trip, although the tired Islanders will come back to New York, face the Rangers on Wednesday. Why are they so tired? Well, basically because of the trip they had yesterday.
It was a long day. Long day of travel. Left the hotel at 10:30 yesterday morning to Montreal, which isn't all that far away. Got in here at 6 o'clock last night.
You almost walk it and make it in better time than that. But they had a connecting flight and they missed the connection.
And some of the boys were disappointed they didn't get a chance to watch a football game. By the way, congratulations to Bill Parcells and the Jets for their victory yesterday over Jacksonville. I don't think the score was indicative of the way the game was played.
Oh, so you did get to see that game, huh?
Absolutely.
Before your Vikings went to work. That was just the appetizer for you, the Jet game. Wait till we get you in Miami. So 36 seconds remaining in the second period. Joe Ricci for Washington. Moving it into Halverson, who's hit by LaChance. And now Lapointe for the Islanders. Load Lapointe lifts it up the middle. Reichel get into Halverson, who's hit by LaChance. And now Lapointe for the Islanders. Load Lapointe lifts it up the middle. Reichel takes off after it. Johansson's in front of him. And we're down to 17 seconds to go in the second period.
And the Islanders with 12 shots on goal in this period. Kolzig has had to be sharp. And meanwhile, 14 shots for Washington. 23-19 in the game, favoring the Capitals.
Well, at the end of 2 periods, Washington 3, the Islanders 1. Washington Capitals in the midst of turning their season around. They've won 3 in a row. They've got the lead here going to the third period. And Olaf Kolzig has certainly turned his season around.
Well, this is a different Washington Capitals team than we saw earlier in the season. Even though they beat the Islanders twice, it's a team that has more speed with some of that youth in the lineup. It's a team that is playing better defensively and preventing goals because of the goaltending, as you mentioned, of Olaf Kolzig. And they're only going to get better when Adam Oates gets back in the lineup.
So in Felix Potvins' Islander debut, he and the Islanders find themselves behind at the end of 2 periods, although they did get even briefly when Robert Reichel scored a power play goal a little over a minute into the period. Gonchar got that one back, and Mike Eagles threw it out from behind the net, and it caromed off of Potvin to make it 3-1. Mike Crispino starts the intermission report after this.
see the ultimate battle for World Hockey supremacy Sunday on Fox.
Long Island's hometown team is back. 99 season tickets for the New York Saints are on sale now. Saints fans, get ready for more scoring. Bring it on. More hitting. Bring it on. More action. More excitement than ever before. Get tickets to all 6 New York Saints home games at Nassau Coliseum at a great low price. Tickets start at just $72. Call 516-794-9303, extension 272 today. Saints season tickets are on sale now. Hometown team. Hometown pride.
Welcome back to the MCI Center. Mike Crispino along with Barry Richter. Well, how's it going first 40 minutes playing in front of a different goaltender, guy you hadn't had a chance to play with so far?
Well, he's playing great for not playing for a month or so. We haven't really given much of a chance on some of those goals, so we got to play a little better defensively in front of him, and hopefully we can pop a couple in the third period.
This Washington team has some speed. They're difficult to contain when they get in the offensive zone. How do you plan to deal with them now in this third period?
I think we got to hold our pins a little bit better defensively. You know, they're jumping off the walls, they're beating us to the net, and their defensemen are a little bit more active than other teams in the offensive zone, so our forwards got to keep eyeing them.
Yeah, your team got a power play goal first period, nearly had a couple if that one didn't get waved off. The power play has not played well lately, but tonight looking a little better. What's been going on different for you?
Well, I think we have a little more sense of urgency out there, moving the puck a little bit better. We're just shooting, I think, a little more, and that's the key. And just when a power play struggling, you just got to shoot and put the puck on net.
The team goes into this third period now down 2 goals. How do you approach these last 20 minutes? Do you get after it immediately, try to force something to happen?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to find our defense, we're going to pinch a little bit more on the boards, try and keep the puck in, maybe jump in a little offense a little bit more, because we got to pop a couple in here in the first 10 minutes.
All right, it's Barry Richter. He'll rest now, and the Islanders will come out in the third, hopefully get something going, tie this thing up at least. We'll continue more of our coverage on Fox Sports New York. It's 3-run Washington after 2.
Coming up this week for you, some more hockey stuff, including the Islanders and the Rangers. Wednesday at Madison Square Garden, 7:30 Fox Sports New York. Thursday, Scott Stevens and the Devils finish up their home and home with the Ottawa Senators. 2-1 Devils tonight in the second period of that game. 7:30 on Thursday in Ottawa, though, all coming up this week on Fox Sports New York, so check your local listings.
Peter Nedved, is he going to be healthy and in the lineup Wednesday night when the Rangers and Islanders meet? He hurt his knee in the game against Tampa Bay a couple of days ago, so he's questionable for that game Wednesday.
Right here, the Islanders need to come from behind. Kallio Hansen ultimately got credit for that first goal, which was originally awarded to Peter Bondra. That's pretty good defenseman there, a one-time #1 draft pick of the Buffalo Sabres, and they moved him pretty quickly, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I think that he has been an underrated defenseman in this league for a long time. You know, he does a lot of things well. We saw him shoot the puck. What's he have? 3 goals against the Islanders now this year. He shoots the puck well. He plays in all critical situations. You know, physically, he's strong. He's not a real physical player, but physically, he's strong enough to kill penalties and play in important roles. He's been a good player for a long time in the league.
Scotty Bowman drafted him when Scotty was running the Buffalo Sabres. And good to see Scotty back behind the bench and in good shape. Just had some maintenance work done on that replaced knee of his. And,
Scotty looks good.
Yep.
Lost, what, 25 pounds right after the initial surgery in the fall.
Looks a little better than his team does lately, even though they won yesterday.
Yeah, they're struggling. No, they lost.
Yeah, they lost yesterday. They won Saturday night.
Yeah.
Ottawa beat them 4-1 yesterday after they won at home against Colorado Saturday.
Yeah, and then they were shut out just prior to that. They were shut out by Ottawa in Detroit 2-0. So that's a team that that is struggling a little bit. Steve Yzerman seems to be the one player that's having a real good year.
Off the draw, Gonchar scores! A blast by Sergei Gonchar. And it's 4-1 Washington.
I think if Filip Poppin is in mid-season form, he stops that one. I mean, that was a rocket by Gonchar, but I think he saw it all the way. I don't think there was anyone that was in direct line, so that's a shot from about 55 feet. Here he is right here. Well, may I take that back. He might have been screened on the play. He had one player coming this way, and he had Trevor Linden going out the other way. So he might have had trouble picking that up.
So the Capital lead is now at 4-1. Joe, I mentioned this to you just before the highlights, and I know that, you know, players will tell you the right things and coaches will say all the right things, but when you get into a situation like the Islanders are now, I mean, they've been on the road for a few days. They had a miserable day of travel yesterday. You know, the ownership situation, maybe that doesn't filter into the room, but I mean, as a player, do you have to discipline yourself in a situation like this, not to pack it in for the rest of this night? I mean, never mind the rest of the season.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, with the length of the season and the number of games, even the good teams are going to have, they're just going to have games where you don't play well, and the effort's not there on an 82-game basis. But when you're a team that's losing, I mean, the last thing you should be thinking about is quitting, because it's already embarrassing up to this point to be midway through the season and have to put on quite a run to put yourself back in the playoff position. So the last thing you should be doing is thinking about quitting at this point.
Understood. But nonetheless, I mean, did you have any self-motivational tricks that you needed to do to avoid quitting, or at least, you know, shutting it down unknowingly? I mean, you don't say to yourself, I'm sure, I'm going to pack it in, but is there something that you need to do from a personal standpoint to guard against that?
Well, I don't think so. I think you just have to try and keep playing.
Ulis just hit Potvin up high with that shot.
I mean, especially, and things are difficult, you know, because they're obviously not going well, and it's hard to do. But you can't just, you know, you can't just pack it in. And you know, that's what makes it a challenge for this coaching staff. And, you know, I mean, these guys they're not sleeping much. You know, starting with that man right there, Mike Milbury, who really has his plate full. Being the general manager and trying to be the head coach, I think it's just so difficult. It's two full-time jobs.
I think it's too much.
No matter you know how many assistants and how much help you have, it's a difficult thing to do to try and manage a team, make the right deals, and be the head coach as well. It's just a very difficult thing to do. And then you start losing games, you can't find a way to win, and you know, you spend time. And I know Bill Stewart and Greg Cronin, you know, they're up last week. They were up all night looking at tapes, trying to figure out what to do and breaking down tapes, and, you know, trying to find something to show these players, both from a motivational standpoint and from you know, the X's and O's of the game.
And you got Webb and Berube banging each other around a bit on this shift. Sacco fires and misses the net by a healthy margin. And it's worked to the far side of the ice. Dale Hunter springs Johansson. And Potvin makes the glove save on the hard shot from long range. Basically just a dump into the net by Calle Johansson. The Islanders ice the puck as Ricky comes back to touch up. So we'll step out. 3:06 gone in the third period, and already the Capitals have added to their lead in Potvin's misery.
Give you one guess who's got great barbecue. That's right, McDonald's. The McRib sandwich is back. The ultimate barbecue experience. The ultimate taste explosion. The ultimate combo with fries and a Coke. But hurry, because ultimately, it'll be gone.
Now, where'd you say that great barbecue was again?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
My Infiniti i30 has 10 engines under the hood. And the sound system is bigger than the actual Earth.
When Infiniti owners exaggerate about their cars, it's only out of love. And right now, great deals at our half-yearly sales event have made them even easier to fall for. Hurry, event ends January 4th. Infiniti, own one and you'll understand.
Well, now you got Sergei Gonchar looking for the hat trick. He's had 2 of the Washington 4. Islanders with 1. And it's Kenny Janssen behind the Islander net. Nemchinov double team. Reichel trying to keep it away from Konowalchuk. And now Palffy forced back by Joe Ricci. Reichel sends it softly to Olaf Kolzig. Gonchar steers it around to the far side. Konowalchuk tried to play it ahead as Peter Bondra was breaking up the middle. And now it's the Islanders who will benefit as the Capitals ice the puck. They'll bring it back into the Washington zone.
I'm trying to think who today was mentioning. One of the guys on our crew was mentioning the fact that a lot of teams' defensemen are scoring goals against the Islanders. And in this game, Here it is again. Now let's see who skates in front. It looks like David Harlock's trying to get out of the way. Now, it's hard to tell whether he was screened. He might have had trouble picking it up. Gonchar, a tremendous shot. But Gonchar with 2 goals in this game. Kelly Johansson has a goal in this game. Stefan Quintal had a couple the other night for Montreal. He hasn't scored many this year.
Does that suggest that the goaltenders are misplaying or just missing some long shots? Because generally the defensemen are shooting from just inside the blue line.
It can be a couple of things. I think we saw in Montreal a mistake by forwards, not getting out there and not looking behind them to a defenseman sneaking in. It could also lead to the fact that the front of the net is not being cleared out.
A chance for Klee, and Nemchinov got back to make a good defensive play.
And we saw against Florida all that not too long ago. Paul Laus with his first goal in 100 and some odd games scored a big goal, a third goal that put the game away for Florida.
He went to the net, right?
Yeah, he went to the net, wasn't picked up. And also in that game, who was the other defenseman that scored the first goal of the game? That was his first goal of the year.
Terry Kartner.
Terry Kartner is correct. It wasn't a trivia question. I just didn't know the answer. I mean, it sounded like I was asked. I couldn't remember who it was.
I wasn't sure if that was you or Vice President Altmaier who was quickly confirming.
No, he's better than I am.
Mark Lawrence for the Islanders. Over to Lapointe. And now Harlock throws it at the net. He scores! Well, there you go. You just throw it at the net and hope something sticks. And with a screen in front of Kolzig, that one did. And now it's 4-2 Washington.
Mark Lawrence stuck to Olaf Kolzig. And he was right on top of the crease, and that's the reason the goal counted. And you talk about harmless shots. This is harmless, but guess what? It hit the net. See, right now there's nobody there, and here comes Lawrence coming right off the boards to the front of the net. Right off the boards to the front of the net, and the puck's just thrown there. And there's the shot. I'm not sure how much he was screened on the play. It wasn't directly in front of him. See it again here as Harlock just throws it out. That was a shot that was end over end. It might have been just the fact that Lawrence was there distracting Kolzig. From that, it looked like it was an angle that he didn't see the puck. I don't think he saw the puck.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to peer around Lawrence, didn't it?
Yeah, Lawrence did a good job, though. That's the important one. Now, both goals for the Islanders in this game have been scored from angles that you normally wouldn't expect a goal to be scored from. But the reason they've been scored is because they've had someone in front of the net. Nemchinov on the first goal, and this time it's Lawrence.
Well, 5 minutes into the third period, we'll see if the Islanders can gain any momentum from that last goal. Joe Ricci here has some room. He fires and puck fan makes the glove save.
And Mike Eagles is begging for a penalty, but the Islanders did a much better job at letting Felix Potvin see the shot. Linden was down deep. Now this allowed Ricci the time. Watch, see, Ricci's waiting. He's looking up. Now watch, here's what he's looking at right there. And Felix Potvin, I mean, you give that man that kind of room there, that kind of space. And 99.9% of the time, the goaltender is going to stop that. I'll give Al McInnes that 1/100th of a percent. But Ricci tried to wait, tried to delay and wait for someone to get there, and the Islanders did a good job keeping everyone to the outside.
Let's see what the Islanders can gain from that goal, aside from just getting one closer. They get the puck into the Washington zone. Now they'll try to go to work on the forecheck. Came back to the blue line to Chara, and now Watt gives it back to Chara, who throws it at the net. It hit the skate of Konowalchuk, and Bondra clears it out. Burakovsky gets it back. Harlock picking up the goal for the Islanders. And for David Harlock, that's only his second of the year, second in the NHL. Former Washington Capitol property, by the way. Lapointe and Lawrence picking up the assists at 4:41. Well, the two from the left to the center are related. Felix, of course, not related to Dennis and Jean Potvin, but he joins the Potvin Islander Association.
I'd like to see a couple of these just kind of go over here a little bit, you know, move all these over here.
We're not taking any rings away from Dennis and Jean necessarily.
No, just, well, why not? You know, we're doing everything we can here.
Yeah, but you know, that's going too far. What'd you have in mind?
No, it's not. It's, you want to win a cup, you got to do what you can do.
Well, it's sheer coincidence. Just let him try one on to see how it feels, right? It's sheer coincidence, by the way, that Felix Potvin wound up wearing number 55 on Saturday night. Tell you about that in a moment as Chara throws one at the net. It's knocked away before it could reach Kolzig. That was the only goalie jersey that the Islanders had available. Just happened to be number 55. And goalie jerseys are cut a little differently from the rest of the squad. The arms are a little bit bigger and wider. Peter Bondra behind the net, wiped out by Janssen. So they put a temporary nameplate on that number 55 jersey, and
they're just not quite as big as a year ago.
Yeah, exactly. And Colin Campbell makes sure of it now every night, along with Dave Dryden and whoever else might be spying on behalf of the National Hockey League.
And the Islanders have a little zip here, and they've been able to get some forecheck going. Now here they just wait because they were making a line change, so they elect to just go into that defensive posture. But prior to that, getting the puck in deep, they again had some chances.
And
here's
another
one.
A lead for Reichel. He drives to the net, pulled down, no penalty. Robert Reichel upended, and play continues. Nick Galishan tries to clear. Brewer throws it at the net. It's knocked away, and then back to Kolzig, who covers up. And we'll have to get a good look at this one to find out why Mike Milbury and the Islanders don't have a power play. We'll take a second look in just a moment.
Sports New York.
Well, the Islanders were not very happy with the non-call, but Stephen Walker might have done a pretty good job here. You know, here's the hook. It's on the stick. It's on the stick. And I think Robert Reichel tried to draw the penalty. I think he tried to draw the penalty, and I think Stephen Walker did a good job not making a call.
Oh, there's your second look, and the Islanders still down by 2. Reichel to Palffy behind the net, and now Reichel again with Bulis on him.
Yeah, first look that I had from up here, Howie, I thought it should have been a penalty, and after I look at the replay, I think it was the right call.
You know, maybe the tip-off was Mike Milbury maintaining plenty of composure on the Islander bench. Reichel wields it wide of the net. And I think if Mike, under the circumstances, were sure that should have been a penalty, he would have been a lot more demonstrative than he was. So play continues with 12:17 to go in the third. Good play by Black to wipe out Richter. The Capitals clear the zone.
I also think at that point in the game when it's 4-2, don't worry about trying to draw a call. I mean, you've got a semi breakaway and a player breaking in with you on the other side.
Ziggy.
You know, Ziggy on the other side. Try and fight through it and get the scoring chance and force them to pull you down.
A block in front by Ricci, who clears the zone. A chance. Up the boards to Donato. He's checked by Joe Ricci. And the fluttering puck comes back to Ricci, who sends Berube on his way. Arlott stands up Berube. And Donato is first to play the puck for the Islanders, but he gets a visit from Dale Hunter. And then LaChance wheels it to the opposite side. Ken Klee hustles to keep it in. Klee's hurt the Islanders this year as well, and he's also played some right wing for Washington.
Klee is really played well for the Capitals. 2 goals scored against the Islanders this year, but Ken Klee, as now we get some players getting together, but Ken Klee has really been an important part of this team, turning things around. And Ron Wilson has used him, as you mentioned, he's used him up on the wing. He's used him on defense when there have been injuries, and he's back playing defense in this game. He plays a tough, hard game. There you see these 2 goals, both against the Islanders this year. But when the team was not scoring, and they needed someone to come in and really play strong defensive hockey for them, you know, Ken Klee was one of those players that stepped up and has been doing a real nice job.
The Islanders will come home, although not to the Nassau Coliseum. They'll come back to New York and face the Rangers on Wednesday night at Madison Square Garden. We'll start it off here on Fox Sports New York with Geico Game Night at 7. And then the Islanders and the Rangers in their 3rd meeting of the year at 7:30 on Fox Sports New York.
Now Trevor Linden moving Chara, who is up just inside the blue line. He moves him all the way back here instead of staying up. And the Capitals win the faceoff. Pavanka, he's been a big difference. Pavanka being in this lineup, not just power play, but penalty killing and winning key faceoffs.
Konowalchuk to Klee, and a glove save by Potvin. Klee thought he had that one behind the Islander goaltender, but Felix Potvin showing that great glove.
You know, it all starts with the face-off. They win the face-off in their own end, and this should not happen. You know, once they come all the way back down the other way, and Tommy Salo watching from up high, but you know, once you win the face-off, as they did in their own zone, they shouldn't be allowed to come all the way back down the ice without any opposition. And they do it. Konowalchuk, I mean, he just keeps going. Nobody on him at all. And Klee's the defenseman. He just follows up. That was a tremendous shot. And Potvin had to make a quick glove save. They're just not enough. I mean, you've got to pressure the puck. You've got to force the opposition to make a good play.
And Potvin with another save. This one on Mironov. It'll hold on with 11:02 to go in the third period.
Now, again, the Capitals win the faceoff. And Mironov able to get the shot through, and Potvin able to control it. Now, they were hoping, at least the players and the coaches, hoping that they could keep, you know, the number of those shots face down, you know, and scoring chances against down in this game. And there have been, you know, a couple that I think if Felix Potvin has been playing for the last month, he stops. Like the one from behind the net, that one deflected in. Even the first goal by Gonchar, even though he got it off quickly and got something on it. That's a shot that had Felix Potvin, I think, been playing, he makes that save without a problem.
Kenny Janssen named to the World All-Star team. The game coming up in a couple of weeks.
Good for him.
Islanders keep the puck. Smolinski's shot knocked away. And it's cleared all the way, or at least out of the Washington zone. Chara just stepped into Bondra. Got the puck back in the Washington end of the ice. And now Dmitry Mironov plays it off the boards, and Bondra starts up ice. Bondra into the zone, and it knocked away by Chara, who then tried to give a vigorous stick check to Peter Bondra. The stick wound up flying out of Bondra's hands, and the Islanders come to center. Janssen lost it to Joe Ricci, but the Islanders get it deep and then start a change on the fly. With 10:09 to go in the third, it's 4-2 Washington. Andrei Nikolitin up left wing, hemmed in by Palffy. And now Halverson tries to get it to the net. That's broken up. Johansson has it back. Halverson snaps it past Richter, and it rolls into the Islander end. Brewer ahead for Reichel. Robert Reichel works on Klee. Good play by Ken Klee. The Capitals clear the zone. Brewer trying to hold off Brian Bellows. And Richter has it back in the Islander zone. Now it's Brewer playing it into the corner to Richter.
I wouldn't say Washington is playing exactly cautious at this point in the game, but they're not quite as aggressive with the forecheck as they were in the first couple of periods with this 2-goal lead. You go back to the game that now they've won 3 in a row, and 2 of those wins against top teams in the East, Toronto and New Jersey, both road games. And that New Jersey game on Saturday night, they were up 3-0 and gave up 2 goals in the third period. So they're aware of that, and I think that they're trying to be a little bit more cautious here in the third with a 2-goal lead.
Ron Wilson pretty upset about those 2 goals that the Devils got in the third period on Saturday night. He was saying that he thought they had a nice, clean, not easy of course, but good, clean, crisp win, and they made it a lot more frightening than it should have been. Got Lachance, twists the puck around the board.
That's what happens when you've had trouble winning games, and you got a chance to win a close one.
Warlock again throws it at the net. It's still loose in front, pushed wide by Lawrence.
A nice job by Joe Ricci also in front, playing the puck. He didn't allow Lawrence to get everything that he wanted to on the shot, and Ricci helped kind of push that puck off to the corner.
The play stopped here with 8:23 remaining in the third period. The Islanders trailing the Capitals 4-2. We'll be back in a moment.
That's 1-800-826-7300.
Well, Kenny Janssen in our McDonald's League Leaders for tonight, having to do with his work on the power play this year. Adrian Aucoin of the Vancouver Canucks leading that parade. You knew it had to include Al McInnes. And Kenny Janssen right in there as well. He and Peter Bondra of the Capitals named to the All-Star team prior to tonight's game. He'll be in Tampa in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Handling that game for Fox. Jan Bulis for the Capitals. Flutters one into the Islanders zone. And LaPointe takes it back. And then it's sent back in by Bellows. Under 8 minutes remaining in the third period.
Mike Watt just stepped on the ice. As soon as he got on the ice, he takes a slap shot in the back of the leg.
Smolinski starts to center. Gets to the red line and twists it around the boards. The carom comes to Eagles. And Craig Berube trying to clear. Lifted it past Brewer, who holds off Dale Hunter, and the Islanders have the puck back.
See, the Islanders are trying to get the puck in deep, and once you do, you've got to make sure you get a minimum of 2 players on the puck, and that third man has to be very ready to pounce. Now here's the defense, and that's Brewer trying to get up there, but Washington does a good job clearing the puck out. When you're down by a couple of goals and 7 minutes to go in the game, now this is where you have to take the risk. You've got to get 2 players and even a third forward in deep, fighting for the loose puck.
Smolinski back in the Islanders zone. Gets to the red line and then fires one, and Kolzig directed it right up the middle. Lee back to get it. Smolinski runs into him. Brendan Witt, number 19 for Washington, starts the rush. He gets to the red line and plays it deep. Capitals finishing a change, so Witt goes to the bench. It's 6:39 remaining in the third period. Bondra floats it behind the Islander net. Konowalchuk and Yatsin get together. In the corner, it's Konowalchuk with a puck. Getting help from Bondra. Behind the net, Pavanka wheels it back in front and went right through the goal crease before the Islanders clear. And the Islanders will take an icing here as Johansson comes back to make the touch. And now time very much a factor. 6 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in the third period.
Well, Bondra ends up with a scoring chance, and it starts because of the play of Konowalchuk in the corner, who went in, took the hit, and you can just see the other Washington forwards, they support the puck, go right to the puck carrier, and Bondra was quick. Now here's Konowalchuk, 22, watch him take the hit. Now head up, here comes Bondra. Right there, close, little 5-foot pass. Now another one, little 5-10-foot pass. Now back to the net. Pavanka getting in front, and Bondra has another scoring chance. But it all started because of the play of Konowalchuk taking the hit, and then the puck support that he got from his 2 line mates.
Pavanka, one of them, wrestling with Reichel behind the Islander net. The puck goes to the other side, but Bondra has it back. He failed to get it deep. It hit Nemchinov, and then the Capitals send it back in. A delayed offside in effect here. It'll be wiped if the Islanders get out. And Janssen sends it ahead. Now it's Chara losing it on a stick check by Calle Johansson. Under 6 minutes remaining in the third. Worked back in deep by Reichel, cut off by Kolzig. Olaf Kolzig around, but not out of the zone. Chara kept it in until Konowalchuk slid it away from him. 30-23 in shots favoring Washington. 4-2 Capitals on the scoreboard. Capitals looking not only for their 4th straight win overall, but looking to make it 3 out of 3 against the Islanders this season. One more game between these teams. It'll be at the Nassau Coliseum on the 9th of February.
Now, last night, Mike Milbury took the coaches out for dinner, and
that must have cost them a fortune.
They decided to go through the lineup individually and rate each player. And Mike was saying this morning that the ratings were not good. They had one player on the team that had a rating that was average or above. Just one.
Well, when you're in the plight,
your top players,
it's
below average.
Listen, when you're in the plight the Islanders are in and have been in, Barnes fires one off the leg. Hard to make a case for much more than that, huh?
Yeah, I agree.
The coaches have to be objective. Can't give a guy a nice grade because you like him. I mean, you're paying him. And if you're not getting production, got to do something about it. A drive by Black and a save by Potvin. A sizzler by James Black. 4:21 remaining in the third period.
That's exactly what the speed of Bulis can do. That's why they're just thrilled to have him back in the lineup at center with his speed, because you have to back off and respect the speed, and then it opens things up for other players. So we got everybody to back off, circled a little bit, and a little drop pass to Black, who ended up with a good scoring chance on Felix Potvin.
Down to 4:06 remaining in the third period. Islanders in trouble again.
Since Dodge Caravan's easy out roller seats have wheels that pop down, reconfiguring the interior is an exercise in convenience, not an exercise in exercise. Why don't all the other guys make it this easy? Go configure.
Now get 1,000 cash allowance or 1.9 financing on Caravan.
Am I on? Geico Direct could save you hundreds of dollars on car insurance. Result?
Smaller bill.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more. At Geico, we get the ball rolling on your claim quickly. Even in the middle of the night. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Crowd of 11,531, announced crowd anyway, here at the MCI Center in Washington for tonight's game. Might be one or two fewer than that in the seats. And, you know, the message, too, is that these new buildings provide great added revenue streams, but they're not panaceas. You know, I mean, you don't just open a new building and fill it overnight. And here's a team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year, and they're drawing 11,000, and that might be pretty liberal on a weeknight. Well, it's Monday night, which normally is not a great night in terms of attendance, but, you know, these new buildings aren't the cure-alls necessarily.
No, it's not, even though the Islanders, and Mike Crispino talked about this during the pregame show, they've had 12 sellouts this season here at home. Last year, they had a total of 10. So here they are, not quite halfway through the season yet, and they've already surpassed last year's sellout total. So certainly things have looked up. And again, this team will get better as they get these players back in the lineup. And you can already see this is a different team, Howie, than we saw earlier. That first time that they were at the Nassau Coliseum, that was an old, slow team. And they're much quicker in this game and younger, and will get younger with some of these players getting back in the lineup.
Ironically, that's the game that started the Islanders' downward spiral. Ted Donato scores! Ted Donato with a quick shot. And suddenly the Islanders are within one with ample time remaining. It's 4-3 Washington, 3:30 remaining in the third period.
And this was a play that started in the Islander zone. It was a blind pass all the way to the center ice area. Now they felt the pressure. The puck's going to come right through here. Just a blind pass. He just throws it out there on the backhand. I believe that was Smolinski. And Donato just knocks it down and then takes his time. Boy, what a wrist shot. What a wrist shot. It didn't look like the goaltender Kolzig was set. Johansson got over and got the stick in there, but Kolzig didn't look like he was set. And Donato beat him high. Still time. 3.5 minutes to go.
Now it's Reichel laying it behind the Washington goal. Kolzig around to the near side, and it's lifted out of the zone. Capitals seem to have everything under control. And suddenly the Islanders with an opportunity to get even here.
Yeah, and that's one of those that you expect your goaltender to stop.
Ivanka to Konowalchuk, and Potvin stayed with a redirection that came from up high. Chara and Konowalchuk get into it mildly.
That Chara was trying to draw one. I mean, he's saying to the referee right there, he got his stick up. See, Chara was being very smart there. He got together, but he kept his stick down and his hands down, and Konowalchuk got his stick up and cross-checked him. Couldn't lift the arms up high enough to get him in the chin, but now here it is again. The deflection. Now here they are. Now watch Chara. See, his stick is down. His stick is down, and then he takes that right there. And he kept his arms down and his stick down, and he was trying to draw the penalty. Here's the stick. Down that way. Keeps it down. Here it is. Now watch, you'll get it right here. I mean, it wasn't much of one. It was probably a good non-call, but the point is he was trying to draw the penalty.
Johnson put it off the skate of Palffy with 2:51 to go in the third period. I think expect the Islanders to really pressure hard now with time running down. And just a goal behind. They've got Johnson and Chara with the Reichel, Nemchinov, Palffy line out there. The Galician Eagles and Bellows on for Washington up front with Klee and Johansson back. Johansson poked it ahead. Palffy picks it off. A knock down to the corner. Reichel laid it off of Kolzig before the Capitals clear, and this one's going to go all the way to Potvin.
He tried to bank that in off the side, off the pad of Kolzig. The Islanders have scored 3 goals in this game. And the Capitals in the last 20 have given up an average of 1.86 a game, under 2 a game.
Islanders bring it back in. Lawrence checked by Gonchar. Richter fires, and Kolzig kicked it out. 2 minutes remaining in the third period. 4-3 Washington. Juneau hit by Lapointe. Ricci around to the other side. And Gonchar plays it off the glass, and this one may go far enough for an icing, but it slows down just before Brewer gets to the puck. So play continues. And we'll keep an eye on Felix Potvin and see when he is pulled from the net. Linden up the middle. Remember Linden trying to get through traffic, backed up by Lapointe, who plays it deep. Gonchar first to get it, but he never reached the puck because Lawrence was on him. Capitals trying to clear. Brewer kept it in momentarily, but then a whistle for a high stick with 1:27 remaining in the third period. Make sure to stay tuned following our game tonight for Fox Sports News. Get caught up on everything from around sports today. The hockey comes to you via Hall of Famer Phil Esposito. Fox Sports News right after the Islanders and the Capitals. And now Mike Milbury signals for a timeout.
Well, the Islanders, after getting that third goal, you could see him suddenly playing with a lot of desperation. Coming out of the zone that last time, the Washington Capitals were back in the trap, had all 5 players back, and the Islanders did a good job of breaking that, getting the puck in deep, and trying to get the forecheck going. The faceoff will come outside the just outside the Washington blue line. I thought they were going to send it all the way down because of the high stick by the Islanders. But in any event, the faceoff will come just outside the line with 1:27 seconds. And that's Wayne Fleming with the board and explaining to the players on the ice what happens with the faceoff, what he wants them to do. Now, generally, if you can win the faceoff, they'll try and go hard around the boards and send players to the far corner and try and outnumber, the defense or the forward going to the boards. I think Mike Milbury looks like he wants to make a change in the alignment and in the personnel. He looked to me like he made a change.
Yeah, Lawrence is going off.
Yeah.
Replaced by Palffy. Reichel will stay on, so you'll have Reichel, Linden, Palffy, Lapointe, and Janssen. And they'll probably be joined, I would assume, by Lawrence once they get Potvin to the bench.
Yeah, I think he wanted a little bit more speed and if they win the draw to get in there right away.
And then he can get Lawrence's size to help out on the forecheck if you get the goaltender out.
He's got 4 forwards out there and just 1 defenseman. That's Janssen.
1:18 to go. The Islanders have it deep in the Washington zone, but the Capitals back on it as Bondra scoots to center. Just wanted to get to the red line. That was his first objective, so that he can play it deep.
So that's Reichel back with the puck. He is playing as a defenseman.
Now Palffy to the red line. Sails one off the boards. Final minute. Potvin heads to the bench. Capitals trying to clear. They do. Open net. Bondra scoots away. Pulled down. And we get a whistle. And presumably just a penalty. If it were going to be a penalty shot situation, it would be an automatic goal. And I wonder if that's going to be the call. Well, the penalty box door opens, so Smolinski will go in.
Well, he had to take the penalty.
If there were a pull down from behind in a penalty shot type scenario with a goaltender pulled at the end of the game, it's an automatic goal. And you could read Ron Wilson's lips there. He's saying, why not a goal?
How about that look? That's Peter Bondra. The Islanders, or pardon me, Washington did a good job clearing the puck out of the zone. No, he's got a good point.
Well, you have to, technically, you've got to be clearly in front. You've got to be pulled down from behind. And Smolinski might have been angled to the side a little bit, which prevents the Capitals from getting the automatic goal. What do you think?
I think it would have been an easy tap in. I think it would have been an easy tap in.
Well, Smolinski, yeah, so does Bondra.
Yeah.
Ron Wilson still not convinced, is he?
Yeah. I have to say that I agree with him on that one. But the Islanders, there's 51 seconds to go, and that allows Mike Milbury to again pull his goaltender and not have the man advantage, but at least play 5-on-5. They'll start with 4 players now, but he's going to have to pull his goaltender again.
And whereas the Capitals were not in a position to legally ice the puck before, they are now, so they can shoot for that open net from behind their own goal line if they choose.
Good point, Howie. The Capitals did a good job just prior to that when we saw Bondra get pulled down. They did a good job clearing the puck out of their zone.
Lee with a drive. Potvin the save.
No, actually,
of course, the Capitals can still ice the puck, but they can shoot at an open net from as far back as they want.
No,
in an even man situation.
No, it's still icing. They have to worry
on the
about
Capitals,
icing.
yeah.
Capitals do.
One man back here. Potvin had to stay in the net. Cross ice feed Bondra, and Potvin made the save.
Good save.
Islanders, of course, in a position to ice the puck, but they're in no situation where they'd want to do that with only 20.2 seconds remaining now. And the faceoff will stay in the Islanders zone.
Well, you know, they might have to do that. I think that's what Kenny Johnson was doing, trying to ice the puck so that Potvin could get off the ice. And they could try and put some pressure on. I mean, the only thing they can do, I think, now in this position with 20 seconds to go is try and win the faceoff. And you've got Palffy and Lapointe out there. Lapointe's got to try and win the faceoff, and Palffy has to, I think, just take off down the ice. Just take off down the ice and try and beat Washington to a loose puck if you can. And force Kolzig to come out of the net and play the puck.
Well, the point over for a word with Mike Milbury on the bench while Zygmunt Palffy contemplates that quick pass that could set him free.
And we were talking about Herb Brooks in the first period. That's a play we used to work on at the end of practices with Herb Brooks for years. The 4 years I played for him was a play where if you win it back to the defenseman goes behind the net, and you don't even look for a player. You try and hit the center ice dot.
Okay, who's sticking?
And send the player to the center ice.
Well, Sergei Gonchar has scored twice, and did he do it with a legal stick or not? Guess if you're Mike Milbury.
That thing's got the hook on it.
It's really with the face-off in their end and 20 seconds left, it's almost a no-lose situation. Even if it were a legal stick, well, that's a banana blade,
yeah,
right?
Isn't it though?
Holy Max!
I mean, you could see it as he was skating up, bringing it to the penalty box. That thing had a huge hook on it.
Now, what's he thinking about? You know, it's the Marty McSorley play, right?
Yeah. And you know who the coaches will be upset with? I mean, they're upset with the players, but they're upset with the equipment guys. And that thing, you can't see it real well from there, but you know, when he handed the stick in, I mean, you could see the size of that curve.
You know, it's amazing how many times when a stick is measured, it turns out to be illegal, isn't it? It's like they know.
Yeah.
You know, if Mike Milbury had been wrong, if it had been a legal stick, the Islanders would be hit with a penalty, which really at this stage wouldn't hurt them that much, right? I mean, the face-off's in their own end anyway. You've got 20 seconds to go. You know, it may seem like a desperation move, but just from looking at that stick, they had to have known. At least you would think, right?
Sure, yeah.
So now the Islanders in an even strength situation in terms of manpower, 4-on-4 rather than the conventional 5-on-5. And there's that breakout or headman to Lapointe. They get Potvin to the bench. Islanders with an extra skater on, 10 seconds to go. But the play offside, and Reichel doesn't believe it.
Well, you know what? Reichel's upset that there wasn't a penalty as well, because right after the face-off, Nikolitin broke his stick. That's his stick on the ice. So he had to come back down and defend, and he just tackled Robert Reichel on the far side. And I think Reichel was upset with that. Now, that's him taking the face-off. Breaks his stick there. Now he's got to go back and defend. Watch, he just takes off. He's got to come back this way all the way, and he pulls down Reichel. See, here's Reichel. There it is over there. See, he just pulls him down without a stick. And that's a penalty, and no one saw it. That's what he was upset with. So now the face-off, they call it offside. Oh, there's
another stick measurement.
This?
I bet you this
Another
one's
measurement.
This got to be illegal also. They must know.
Now he's got to ask for more time on the clock.
Yeah, right. I don't know about this one.
I don't know if this one. He's trying to figure if this one is too wide. If the blade is too wide. There's a curve. Can't be more than a half an inch in curvature, and then I was checking the width. Well, the Islanders don't win this one.
Well, so there goes my theory. The first one I've seen in years.
And look at Ricky. Ricky's, I think he's yelling at the bench, yelling at Milbury. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, see, he's getting into it with Milbury. Wasn't a bad try.
I can't remember the last time I saw a stick challenge that proved to be legal.
You see, now the Islanders get the penalty. The Islanders get the penalty here.
You know,
because
did he just high-five the equipment guy who might have made a quick change?
Oh, maybe he did.
Remember, hey,
maybe he did.
John, I got to interject something here. Now, Joe McMahon is the Islander equipment manager. And Joe
look at that look. Oh, is that a, huh? Oh, boy.
Thanks for the help, brother.
Hey. Oh, that slide look. Look at, oh, that's a slide look. That's why he's going to the All-Star game. And these guys in Washington here are going to be working for the world team at the All-Star game.
To quote your former coach, Herb Brooks, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's probably what he's thinking.
Look at, I mean, just look at those looks. Look at those looks. Is that not a guilty look? And kind of a, we just made it?
You know what I was wondering, too? Joe Ricci looking at that empty net. You know he wants it, and he just missed.
He didn't have enough curve on the stick.
Well, time's going to run out unless Kolzig blows this. And the Islanders have been beaten by the Washington Capitals 4-3, and there's maybe the most relieved guy in the house. I was mentioning Joe McMahon. Now, he's the Islander equipment manager, and he was there with the Islanders when Joe Ricci was with the Islanders. So he might have known about what kind of stick Ricci used and whether or not under normal conditions he's playing with a curved stick.
I'm surprised he didn't take that stick they measured and just gave it away. Just hand it to a fan. Walk away. Well, the Islanders came back. They fought back. They showed some desperation the last few minutes of the game and couldn't get a tying goal past Ole the goalie. He's look at him. Joe Ricci knows it, laughing about it.
What'd that second period stick look like, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, the Capitals can smile. They've got a 4-game winning streak now. And the Islanders are now winless in 8. 4-3 Washington, your final tonight.
Yeah, he's thinking, would I be a star of this game if my stick would have been illegal?
Well, Washington looked like they'd put this one away in the first minute of the third period, but the Islanders did get 2 more. Harlock and Donato close it to within 4-3, but that's how it ends. Washington Capitals out shooting the Islanders 35-25. 4-3 Capitals, your final tonight. We'll be back from Washington in a moment.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And if you call now, you'll save 50% off the regular home delivery price. Then wake up to the things you care about most. What do you think about first thing Sunday morning?
First thing, relaxing with my coffee and the Sunday New York Times. It's what Sundays were made for.
First thing, I think about my family in America and in my homeland.
You get a world of ideas, insight, and discovery you won't find anywhere else, all at a 50% savings for 8 weeks.
I just love the art, and nothing satisfies my passion like the Sunday Times.
Call now, 1-800-496-2453.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
First thing, my New York Times. Another day to learn something new.
The New York Times. Call today.
Where's Frank? It's been his turn for 10 minutes.
He had to go call his mother.
Hi, Mommy, it's Frank. I tied my bowling shoes all by myself.
He must have called her with 1-800-COLLECT.
Why's that?
I'll tell you why, Bitterman, because 1-800-COLLECT's 10 cents a minute every evening. So he usually talks for a while.
10 cents a minute? That's cheap. Hi, Frank. How's your mommy?
I don't know. I was talking to Bitterman's sister.
1-800-COLLECT. Save your mommy money.
I think we both know why we're here. There comes a time in every career when you just gotta hang 'em up. You're not pulling your weight anymore. Look at you. I mean, look at you. I gotta cut you.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover. Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER.
Get out of here.
You guys are in here again? I can't believe this! You're always in here nursing your injuries. I have never seen such a group of cream puffs in my life. This is football! I need guys that can play!
Man, I thought he'd never leave.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hot dog, anyone?
New York Islanders hockey on Fox Sports New York has been brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Disappointing loss for the Islanders at the MCI Center. They come back from 4-1 down, get within one, but cannot get the equalizer. The Caps have now gone 10 games without losing to the New York Islanders, 9-0-1. The Isles are winless in their last 8, just one victory now in their last 12 games. And the Discover Card player of the game, Sergei Gonchar. The defenseman gets 2 tonight, his 4th career 2-goal game. Gonchar scored 34 seconds into the 3rd. That made it 4-1. Now let's go upstairs to Howie Rose and Joe Micheletti.
And Mike, our Bud Light goal of the game is one that Felix Potvin in his Islander debut would probably like to have back, Joe.
Well, it came from the corner, and David Harlock just ends up deflecting the puck. Eagles is going to get the puck in the far corner and just try to throw it behind the net. Or there's Eagles there. Here comes the puck from Hunter, and actually deflects off of the stick of Harlock. They gave it to Eagles, but it went off the stick of Harlock, off of Felix Potvin into the net. That made it 3-1, a critical part of the game. Let's head back downstairs to Mike Crispino.
Thanks, Joe. Our Brooklyn Union Gas play of the game coming up now as we show you more of this 4-3 Capital victory tonight. Sergei Gonchar made it 4-1 with a blast, beating Felix Potvin in his debut as an Islander, gives up 4. The Isles get 3, unable to win tonight. Troubles continue. And maybe some sneaky stuff going on the Capitals bench. Some stick work by Doug Shearer, their equipment manager. Joe Ricci stick was legal. The Islanders lose that one and the game. For Howie Rose and Joe Micheletti, our producer Kevin Meininger, our director Larry Roth, Mike Crispino, good night from Washington.